We are tracking the latest developments on the flooding wreaking havoc in Abbotsford. Evacuation orders are still in place, schools are shuttered for the day, and some roads remain closed.
So let's give a warm welcome to our newest member of the Liberal Party,
The Liberals creep closer to a majority government with the defection of another Conservative.
Ryan Garland, Leon Sherwood, backhander scores!
And could the struggling Canucks bump their slump? The highlights coming up. Good morning, everyone. It's Friday, December 12th. Welcome to Your Morning, Vancouver. I'm Carrie Adams. Highway 1 is closed this morning in Abbotsford as floodwater continues to impact parts of the Fraser Valley. All schools in Abbotsford School District are closed this morning, and evacuation orders have been expanded with hundreds of properties affected. Our Reagan Hasegawa is live for us on Highway 1 this morning. Good morning, Reagan. Raining again, I see there. You're actually standing directly on the highway where we have seen that area closed for a stretch because of the floodwaters. What are you seeing where you are?
Good morning, Carrie. And of course, normally I wouldn't be able to safely stand here because it would be bustling with the morning commute. But this morning, it remains shut down between Sumas Way and Number 3 Road, a closure that happened last night because officials were concerned about public safety and pooling water on the roads. As you mentioned, it is raining already again this morning, and there are concerns about weather in the upcoming forecast. But right now, they're focused on the evacuation orders that are currently in place, as we know they did expand late last night.
Staff at the Emergency Operations Center continue to actively monitor river levels, dikes, and road conditions closely and will continue to do so throughout this event. The city will continue to provide updates as information becomes available on our website at abbotsford.ca and on our social media channels.
Officials initially closed down the highway last night, but then had to expand which stretch was impacted due to the floodwaters covering part of the roadway. The city of Abbotsford has issued new evacuation orders for 7 properties north of the highway, including the Clarion Hotel and several nearby buildings, while evacuation orders remain in place for 82 properties in Huntington Village and 371 properties in Sumas Prairie West. More than 1,000 properties remain under evacuation alert across Sumas Prairie East and West. Officials are urging residents to avoid waterways, stay off flooded roads, and check the city's website to confirm whether their property is affected.
We will do whatever it takes to protect people and communities, because in moments like these, no one stands alone.
Yeah, a really difficult time for people out there right now, Reagan. And as we look towards the weekend, what are officials saying about the next weather system and what that could mean for flood conditions?
There's definitely concern about what's ahead, Carrie, and that's because the Nooksack River in Washington State continues to spill its banks and is expected to continue to do so today. So we'll see even more flooding impacts as the day progresses. The other concern is the forecast itself, with the River Forecast Center saying another atmospheric river is expected Sunday into Monday, and we'll have to wait and see what kind of impact that has, as there's concerns that our river levels here in British Columbia won't have been recovered by that point. Carrie.
Okay, Reagan Hasegawa joining us this morning. Thanks, Reagan. In the meantime, worried farmers are hoping for the best, but bracing for the worst.
The adrenaline's pumping. I didn't sleep much at all.
This dairy farmer says he was forced to move dozens of heifers from his barn, which flooded in 2021. He's calling for more help, including pump stations or a drainage channel to prevent future situations like this. Well, Premier David Eby says the province has been able to respond much faster compared to the devastating flooding event of 2021.
It's really scary right now for a lot of people, especially in the Sumas Prairie area where they've seen this before and recently. Incredibly nerve-wracking for them because of the investments in the equipment to be able to predict river flows. We've been able to move much faster than we were in 2021, and the Barrowtown pump station is better protected than it was. but this is still very scary for a lot of people in the area, and certainly we've got the teams in place to provide the support that's necessary.
Eby goes on to say he has been in touch with mayors in impacted communities to make sure they'll have all the resources they need from the province. Wildland firefighters have also been called in to help. Well, south of the border, flooding has forced thousands from their homes in Whatcom County. Heavy, relentless rain pushed the Nooksack River over its banks, flooding streets and businesses in the border city of Sumas. The border crossing there has been shut down both ways, and all residents have been ordered to evacuate. Coast Guard crews have rescued about 30 people by boat and helicopter.
So we got the people out yesterday as much as possible, and then this morning the water showed up probably about 8 o'clock. We thought it'd be a little sooner than that, but it was kind of slow. But when it came, it was once again a lot of water in a hurry.
Several people were rescued after spending hours trapped inside one flooded home. Officials are calling this one of the worst floods since 2021. No fatalities have been reported. Well, turning to Ottawa now, Mark Carney's Liberals are now just one seat shy of a majority government after another Conservative MP crossed the floor.
All I want to say is Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and a great 2026 coming to all of you. Thank you.
Ontario MP Michael Ma was warmly welcomed by the Liberals at their holiday party last night. One night earlier, he had been at the Conservative Christmas party. In a statement, Ma said he entered politics to help people and looks forward to working with the Prime Minister. He's the second Conservative MP to defect in the past 2 months. Well, the frustration for the Vancouver Canucks continues after yet another loss, this time at the hands of the Buffalo Sabres.
Here's Max Sasson with a burst of speed through to the net, scores!
That go-ahead goal in the third period was not enough for Vancouver as the Canucks gave up 2 late goals in a 3-2 final score. The struggling Canucks currently sit dead last in the league with only 25 points. They will look to rebound on Sunday when they head to New Jersey to face the Devils. Well, applications for the latest batch of World Cup tickets is officially open. The lottery also includes select tickets for anyone with a Canada Red membership through Canada Soccer. However, tickets for Canada's group stage matches in Vancouver won't be cheap, running between $370 and $980. You have until January 13th to apply, with the results of the draw being announced no earlier than February 5th. Canada plays 2 group stage matches at BC Place, one against Qatar on June 18th, the other versus Switzerland on June 24th. Okay. So those who have that membership are getting ready for action then this morning.
Yeah, really. Get in there. Very lucky.
Yeah.
Good luck to them.
Yes. Steph, I want to talk more about that flooding and the rain. So we saw Reagan out there with her umbrella. The rain's coming back.
It is coming back. We do have some heavier rain moving in Saturday night. Sunday is the big concern into Monday. I'm going to show you that. We have some warnings, but as far as the, I'm going to show you here just the flooding and where we're at right now. So it's light rain. It's drizzle today, so nothing too heavy today, which is great news. We have a few warnings to tell you about. So we've got snowfall warnings in place for the Caribou region, as you can see, where we're going to be seeing about 10 centimeters of snowfall. Northern sections, BC Peace, as well as Fort Nelson, expecting temperatures to potentially reach minus 45 with a wind chill factor. We do still have these watches, advisories in place. So we are expecting between about 10 to 20 millimeters of rainfall through the Fraser Valley, areas around Hope, about 40 millimeters of rainfall. So they're still in that advisory watch stage as of right now. As we head into the later part of the weekend, that could, of course, be upgraded. And then we do have a winter snowstorm on deck. That watch is in place for inland sections of the North Coast. As far as our flood warnings right now, we have the Similkameen, the Tulameen, and the Sumas, all those areas in red, but you can see the high stream flow advisories have been lifted. So there's some good news, and my clicker's not working, so I do have your full forecast. Expect a little bit of drizzle, on and off rain today, nothing too soggy just yet. I've got more on the full forecast coming up. Carrie.
Yeah, we'll look into beyond the weekend. Thanks for that, Stephanie. Okay, 6:09 here on Your Morning Vancouver. Let's take a look at the roads. We do have a live shot to show you of the Parental Bridge. No problems reported there, but volume is building at this hour. And we do have a reminder for you this morning that Highway 1 between Sumas Way and Number 3 Road is still blocked in both directions due to flooding. No one's getting through there. Also, Highway 3 between Hope and Princeton is still shut down due to weather. No estimated time on when either of these will be reopening. We'll keep you updated. We're learning more about the new deal between the city and the Vancouver Whitecaps, paving the way for a new soccer stadium. We'll have details ahead. Also,
it's very embarrassing.
Very embarrassing.
Oh, 'tis the season for scams. One couple purchased a gift card for a friend only to find out it was empty. How to avoid getting ripped off. And
you discover things you never expected.
Powerful partnership, how orcas and dolphins teamed up in their hunt for salmon. Welcome back, everyone. Gift cards are a popular present over the holidays and a billion-dollar business, so it's no surprise criminals want a piece of that action. That means you could end up with a gift card that turns out to be empty, and it can take months to get your money back. Here's CTV's Pat Foran.
Gift cards are an easy way to show your appreciation for a family member or friend, but sometimes criminals are able to tamper with them and drain their balances before you get a chance to use them.
It's very embarrassing.
Very embarrassing.
Peter and Elaine Terry of Toronto bought their good friend a gift card for the LCBO. He received it a month ago, but when he went to use the $100 gift card, it was empty.
He called and said he'd been to the LCBO to use the gift card, and they told him it had a zero balance.
The Terrys purchased the gift card at Shoppers Drug Mart and weren't sure why there was a problem. What followed was almost a month of being bounced back and forth between Shoppers and the LCBO, with neither side offering a refund.
I think Shoppers should reimburse you your money, because you paid for it there.
Gift card fraud can take different forms, but generally criminals go to a store, copy the card number and bar activation code, then reseal the package. They may also place fake barcode stickers on the cards. When the card is activated, money that's added goes to the scammer instead of the gift card holder. Always inspect gift card packaging carefully.
You want to avoid getting cards that may have been tampered with, and one way to do that is look for ones that have more secure packaging or are perhaps behind the counter.
When CTV News reached out to Shoppers, its parent company Loblaw said, "Our teams are trained to recognize tampering and other fraudulent situations involving gift cards, doing their best to intercept suspicious transactions before purchase." That said, we understand this is a frustrating experience for customers. Loblaw made it right with the Terrys in record time, giving them back $100 cash.
We got our money back, Pat, after we spoke with you yesterday within 2.5 hours, thanks to you and CTV.
Pat Foran, CTV News.
Amazing. Glad they got their money back. Well, a new scientific journal is showing that resident killer whales and dolphins have developed a unique bond. CTV's Andy Garland explains.
It was an accidental run-in with something they've never seen before for researchers with UBC and Dalhousie University.
We were there to study just the feeding behavior of the northern resident killer whales.
You discover things you never expected.
And what they witnessed in 2020 while in the Johnstone Strait off northern Vancouver Island was that the killer whales were feeding on Chinook salmon, and they were working together with Pacific white-sided dolphins.
When a killer whale started its dive, often there was a dolphin ahead of it, and so the killer whale was actually following the dolphin.
Researchers knew the pair hung out, but assumed dolphins were there to either harass, play, or even try and steal some fish from the killer whales.
We never expected to see this level of cooperation, and we're just astounded. There's absolutely no aggression between them.
Customized animal tracking solution tags, or CATs, were placed on killer whales, which collects audio and video, as well as other data, and gave researchers insight into how these two species would go after salmon together.
They were hearing the dolphins echolocating, trying to find Chinook salmon, which are too big for them to capture themselves, but they're perfect targets for them to identify and find. And then the killer whale would take over to do the kill.
The killer whales would resurface and share its kill with others from its pod.
We see that, the dolphins are going after the scraps. So both species are kind of getting salmon.
Another theory researchers have to why these two have a mutual bond is that the resident killer whales are acting like bodyguards from big killer whales who prey on dolphins.
As long as the whales are hanging out with the dolphins have some protection.
Researchers plan on collecting more data and hope this will prompt others to share information that they've seen on the unexpected relationship between these two.
And this probably started well over 1,000 years ago. It's not a new trick.
Andy Garland, CTV News.
Little bit of a buddy system there. Well, one day into its social media ban for teens, the Australian government is being sued. Why? The company that's taking legal action is doing it, and reaction from Australian officials, that is still to come. But first,
this partnership has the potential to create a heck of a lot of jobs, boost our local economy.
the Vancouver Whitecaps and the city make a deal. Will residents get a new stadium, and at what cost?
Give your workplace a boost with a CTV Your Morning Vancouver One Coffee Break. Enter now for a chance to win a variety of delicious K-Cup coffee pods and a brand new Keurig coffee machine, courtesy of One Coffee. Each month, CTV community host Mona Mahmood will visit the winning workplace to deliver the exciting package. Enter online at ctvvancouver.ca or scan the QR code on your screen. Good luck.
Well, a couple of young bears at a zoo gave some visitors quite the show that you have to seesaw to believe. The two young Andean bears were seen playing with the long branch hanging from a tree. Look at this. The 4-year-old male on the right even starts to pull down, letting the 2-year-old female on the left jump up and down while hanging on. Oh, this is a fun game. The zoo director says the young bears are naturally curious and this playful behavior is in line with their instinct to explore their surroundings. Aw, wholesome fun there for the bears.
Mother Nature's teeter-totter.
Yeah, exactly. That looks like they're having a good time.
Absolutely. Well, it's been a bit of a zoo as far as our weather's concerned the past several days. I'm going to give you an update now. We do still have weather statements in place for the Fraser Valley, East, Central, and West. We are expecting the potential for 10 to 20, another up to 40 near Hope. It is light rain for us here around much of the south coast on and off today. We're going to be seeing some rain, some drizzle. Nothing too major. It will intensify a little bit tonight and again Saturday night, and we do have another atmospheric river on deck as we head into the later part of the weekend and next week. Today's high 9 degrees, so we're above seasonal. We are inching closer to that 8 a.m. mark as far as sunrise goes. So there you go. And here's a look at the highway snow forecast. We do have a yellow warning in place for Rogers Pass, where we're expecting up to 15 centimeters of snow. Much of the other passes, however, it will be snow turning to rain. We're seeing those freezing levels rise. Highway 3, as of right now, according to Drive BC, is closed, so I'll keep you updated on that. So here's a look at the storm tracker. You can see here this frontal system today is on the weaker side. We are expecting quite a bit of snow through the interior region. We do have some warnings to tell you about. I'll show you those coming up more to the northern sections. But it's that advisory for the Fraser Valley that's in place right now. And there we go. As we head into Sunday, it's going to be very wet. So we are expecting Sunday to be the soaker. So wet conditions continue, and it will be through the weekend. So it's really Sunday, Monday into Tuesday that we're monitoring some heavier moisture moving into all those flooded areas specifically. Carrie?
Not a lot of variety with those icons in behind you there.
I know. Sorry to say.
All right. Thanks for that, Stephanie. Well, now to a deal signed by the Vancouver Whitecaps, but it isn't for a new player. It's a step closer to having a new stadium. The team is fresh off their best MLS season ever, but they're also up for sale. And as CTV's Ben Milger reports, if a local buyer with deep pockets doesn't step up, there is still a very real possibility the team could move.
With a few strokes of the pen, the City of Vancouver and the Whitecaps entered into a memorandum of understanding to negotiate a deal for a new stadium on the site of the Hastings Park Racecourse. If it goes ahead, the city will retain the land and the Whitecaps will sign a fair market value lease to build on it.
The MOU is an important piece because if we want to build a successful future for this club here, we have to get to a better and financial sustainable situation as a club.
The club just wrapped its most successful season since joining MLS, making it all the way to the final before losing to Lionel Messi's Inter Miami. The Caps currently play at BC Place, but say that is not sustainable, in part because the team doesn't get a share of concession sales. BC Conservative MLA Ian Patton, who doesn't want to see the demise of horse racing at Hastings Park, would prefer if an agreement could be reached to keep the team downtown.
The government won't make a deal with the Whitecaps to at least do proper revenue sharing on beer and hot dogs and jerseys and popcorn. Are you kidding me?
The MOU is just the first step in a long process, which also includes securing financing for a new stadium, likely to cost several $100 million. And it's all complicated by the fact Whitecaps ownership is currently trying to sell the club. Without a new stadium deal in place, potential buyers may choose to take the team elsewhere.
If this doesn't go through, it's looking more and more like, yes, this would be the demise of the Vancouver Whitecaps.
A deal on a new stadium is nowhere near the final stretch, let alone the finish line. So what are the betting odds on it actually happening?
There's still so many hurdles left for the Whitecaps to clear for this to become reality. I'm hoping that the probabilities go well beyond 50% and closer to 90 within the next 10 months.
In the meantime, negotiations for a new lease at BC Place for next season are ongoing. Ben Milger, CTV News, Vancouver.
First of all, too bad about Hastings Racecourse. I can see why a lot of people would want, and why the Whitecaps would want a new stadium, especially in that location. I'm a little bit sad that they can't come up with a deal to stay at BC Place and get a better piece of the revenues from food and beverage. Same with the BC Lions. They don't get a cut that they would like either. So then they can stay downtown.
They need to figure it out. Absolutely. I mean, I agree. Hastings Racetrack area would be fantastic.
Because of the view.
Right. So hopefully, yeah, that is figured out, but it's complicated.
Yeah, but it's also a residential area. I live in that area, full disclosure, so it'd change things a lot. Well, marine mammal rescue efforts paid off when a sea lion needed help. Why the team and the DFO needed to act fast, that story's ahead. Also, with floodwaters rising in the Fraser Valley, we'll tell you about this dramatic rescue of a group of people and pets who became trapped.
Good morning from Highway 1, which is closed between a stretch of Abbotsford and Chilliwack this morning due to flooding concerns. The area continues to be battered with school closures, evacuations, and even more road closures. I got the details coming up on Your Morning, Vancouver.
Thanks for joining us. We begin in Abbotsford, where a major flooding event is not over yet. Look at these images. Flooding from an atmospheric river has closed schools for the day, while multiple evacuation orders and alerts are still in effect, and several roads are closed. Reagan Hasegawa is joining us now live on Highway 1 in Abbotsford. Good morning, Reagan. How difficult is it to get around Abbotsford this morning with that highway closed and a number of other roads as well?
Good morning, Carrie. Well, the location where I'm standing this morning kind of speaks for itself. I'm standing on Highway 1 itself, something I would never be able to do safely during the morning commute, and that's because it's shut down between Sumas Way and Number 3 Road this morning as floodwaters make their way onto the highway, something we saw back in 2021 as well. And while officials are still pretty clear that they don't think this is going to be as bad as the flooding we saw 4 years ago, it's still having major impacts and making major delays for commuters this morning.
Based on the latest information, this flooding event is tracking similar to the 1990 flood. This is a lesser event than what we experienced in 2021. But conditions and forecasts are always subject to change.
Provincial officials say rainfall has eased, but flooding risks remain as water from the Nooksack River in Washington continues to spill into the Sumas region. 7 properties north of Highway 1 are now under evacuation order, including the Clarion Hotel, while evacuation orders remain in effect for 82 properties in Huntington Village and 371 in Sumas Prairie West. More than 1,000 properties remain under evacuation alert across Sumas Prairie East and West as crews continue round-the-clock monitoring of rivers, dikes, and road conditions.
If you're living in an area that is at risk of flooding, you should have a grab-and-go bag ready for everyone in your household, including pets, particularly if you are under evacuation alert.
Well, Reagan, we see that the rain has started again. What are officials saying about how long these flood risks could last, especially with more severe weather on the way?
The last update from the province said that they were monitoring the Sumas River levels because they are concerned about more water spilling in from the Nooksack River across the border into this evening. So they're kind of keeping a close eye on that situation. But another factor is an incoming weather system, which you've already mentioned. Sunday into Monday, they are expecting another atmospheric river to bring heavy rain, and that could cause even more issues for officials already struggling to keep things open and people safe out here in Abbotsford. Carrie.
Oh, we'll keep an eye on that. Reagan Hasegawa joining us. Thanks, Reagan. Meanwhile, 5 people and 4 dogs had to be rescued after getting trapped on an island on the flooded Chilliwack River. The group was camping out on the island overnight Wednesday when disaster struck. Chilliwack Search and Rescue says it responded with 20 members, including a raft team and swiftwater specialists. For hours, the team tried to reach the island, only to determine there was no safe way. The stranded individuals thought they could stick it out until morning, but that quickly changed.
Condition did deteriorate a little bit over the course of the next few hours, which resulted in us calling North Shore Rescue and Talon helicopters.
North Shore Rescue was able to hoist all 5 people and their dogs off the island. Everyone got out safely. No one was hurt. Well, turning to Ottawa now, and another headache for the federal Conservative Party. Another MP has crossed the floor to join the Liberals, and he was introduced to his new colleagues at the Liberals' Christmas party last night.
So let's give a warm welcome to our newest member of the Liberal Party,
Well, that means the Liberals are now just 1 seat shy of a majority government. Ma had attended the Conservative holiday party the night before, even posing for a photo with leader Pierre Poilievre. An Ontario man has been charged in connection to a protest at a BC ostrich farm. Authorities said the alleged incident happened in September, weeks after the Canadian Food Inspection Agency was granted a warrant to search the Universal Ostrich Farm in Edgewood. They say 60-year-old Timothy Reagan has been charged with assault with a weapon, and mischief. Mounties have not provided further details about the incident, but say a 73-year-old woman received medical care from officers at the scene. Reagan is scheduled to appear in court in January. Well, a sea lion with a rope tightly tangled around its neck is eating and breathing a little easier this morning, thanks to the Marine Mammal Rescue Society. And a warning to you, some of the video in this report may be disturbing to some of you. So the young female Steller sea lion was spotted more than a month ago and again this week. She could be seen sitting on a dock in Cowichan Bay with a potentially lethal neck entanglement. The Marine Mammal Rescue Team and DFO were able to track the sea lion down, catch, and then free her.
We had to take the chance when we had it, and luckily everything went really well, and that's thanks to, just an incredible team that I have the privilege to work with and our DFO partners.
If you notice a marine mammal in distress, you are asked to observe, record, and then report it to the DFO. Well, from rolling down snow-coated slopes to chomping away on some big carrots, some pandas in China had quite the snow day. Whee! So these are white, fluffy animals at the China Panda Conservation and Research Center. There's those big carrots I was telling you about. They're just drinking so daintily. The center is a world leader for the breeding and conservation of giant pandas. I don't know what it is about their bodies that they are just so Roly? Like, give them a hill and give them a push, and they're having the time of their lives.
They are just the most adorable creatures.
But I wasn't expecting the dainty drinking.
But I do wish we had some snow to play in. That makes me want to just, you know, the rain.
Roll down the snow? Okay. Rather than the rain?
I'm ready for a little snow, fun in the snow. But our freezing levels are rising today. That's the story. So any snow on our mountain passes turning to rain a little bit later as those freezing levels rise. We're dealing with on and off showers today, really light rain, some drizzle. That's the theme. So you can expect that it will be, you know, a little bit scattered, nothing too major today at all, a little bit intensified tonight. And then it's really Saturday night that we're going to start to see the heavier rain. So what I'm showing you right now are current yellow warnings. We've got cold to the north in the BC Peace and Fort Nelson, where temperatures will reach -45 with a wind chill. And we do have a snowfall warning in place for the Caribou, where we could be seeing 10 centimeters of snowfall. For us locally here, we have special weather statements in place for the Fraser Valley. We're expecting anywhere close to Hope up to 40 millimeters of rainfall. And this takes us all the way into early next week. So we're monitoring this situation. We're going to be seeing some heavier rain push in towards the latter part of the weekend. And we're expecting some freezing rain for your Saturday morning for the North Coast inland. Here's our current flood warnings in place. So areas still around Sumas are under those flood warnings, Tulameen as well as the Smilkameen. And there it is for your day ahead. Just expect some spotty showers. Nothing too major today, thankfully. Now let's go check in with Mona.
Well, good morning to you, but good evening from us, because we have taken a little after-hours field trip to the Greater Vancouver Zoo in time for their first ever Zoo Lights event. Now, we're talking about all that this morning from Under the Dragon's Passage with Director of Animal Care, Manita. Good morning.
Good morning, Mona.
Manita, I'm so thrilled to be here. This is actually my first time out here at the zoo, and it's a beautiful time of year to come visit because you've got all these light displays up. Of course, this is one of several.
Yes.
So talk to us about the different events and light displays that people will see when they come to the zoo.
Yeah, so we have over 100 handcrafted Chinese lanterns, which is what we are surrounded by right now. We do have our Arctic Express that has a wonderful journey sharing a biologist story, tracking a threatened woodland caribou.
Wow.
We have sips and snack booths throughout. Our Oasis Kitchen is open with a full menu. We do also have some specialty items as well. And of course, the big guy Santa is here.
I know, that's pretty incredible. So it's a full holiday extravaganza. And as I stand next to this dragon, I need to ask you as well, what animals will people see on display here during the holiday event?
So the zoo adjusted its hours. We're open from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. So if you come early, you have the chance to wander around the zoo and meet the animals up close. And then at 4 o'clock, that's when the lanterns start turning on and you experience the zoo lights event.
So if you come during the day, you can see the animals, but then you can also stay for that twilight hour area and then stick around for the holiday lights to come on.
Exactly.
Beautiful. Well, we are going to check out a lot more of the zoo lights display on for the very first time here at the Greater Vancouver Zoo out in Eldergrove. We're going to do that for the rest of the morning. So Manita, thanks so much for chatting with us, and we'll be back next hour. In the meantime, you can go online and learn more about grabbing your tickets. They start at just $16. So great, affordable family activity for this time of year.
Wow, beautiful lights. Thanks for that, Mona. Well, how likely is it that Canada could ban social media for younger teens? A closer look at how Australia's ban could be a test for the rest of the world. We'll have that conversation coming up in our next half hour. But first,
not only feel empowered myself, but bring visibility to the world stage.
From ban to breakthrough, how a courageous Canadian athlete paved the inclusive path for change in her sport. Welcome back, everyone. A Canadian athlete is earning praise on the global stage, not just for her performance, but for forging a more inclusive future. Here's CTV's Annie Bergeron-Oliver.
This is a fantastic ski from Shiloh Russo.
Whenever Shiloh Russo puts on her Team Canada gear,
look at the lead that she has.
A wave of immense pride sweeps over her.
It becomes more than just about you. I feel like I'm representing my hometown and all the people who have supported me along the way.
This year, Russo came up with a way to share that love as she races for a spot on the Olympic team. A custom-made pistol grip with a rainbow flag to support the LGBTQ community.
I wanted to not only feel empowered myself, but bring visibility to the world stage and have others feel seen and feel safe to express who they are as well.
But initially, that sense of safety was violated. During a routine equipment check last weekend, race organizers at a World Cup event told her the flag went against their ad policy on political statements.
They said, like, in order to race, you need to cover up this symbol.
Biathlon Canada says Russo almost missed the race.
Didn't seem like this is a political statement at all. It's expression of Shiloh's identity, and it seemed like an overreach by the local officials.
Biathlon Canada and Russo asked for a review. In the end, the International Biathlon Union conceded their rules were unclear, that the rainbow flag is not a political statement and can be displayed on gear in all future races.
It definitely took me by surprise and was quite upsetting, especially the day before the race, but my coaches and team had my back, and we made positive change happen.
The International Biathlon Union says it's hoping to recraft its policies. As for Russo, she says this experience has made her feel empowered and proud of who she is. Annie Bergeron-Oliver, CTV News, Ottawa.
Well, Santa spent some time with Edmonton seniors this week. Bags were filled with basic necessities and gifts as part of an annual donation drive, and they hope it inspires other communities across the country. CTV's Gates Goran has the story.
Volunteers busy with some final preparations. Toiletries and warm clothes filled each gift bag to the brim, right off the wish lists of seniors across Edmonton.
The impact of them asking for basic necessity items, I think that what appeals to most people is they're asking for things that you or I maybe take for granted.
It's all a part of Operation Friendship's annual stocking stuffers for seniors. The campaign believes every senior should receive a gift during the holidays. Donations have poured in to help make that happen.
The ability to show that someone cares about our seniors this holiday season is hugely important.
With the cars packed tightly, it was off to spread some Christmas cheer. And members of the Edmonton Elks and Riverhawks were along for the ride.
I remember it as spending time with family, opening gifts, getting gifts for family. So it's important for us to be able to go and do that for people who may not have that same experience.
This is one of my favorite times of the year, Christmas, and giving anybody that ability is something very special.
Merry Christmas! Santa himself led the lineup of his volunteer elves, much to the joy of residents at Sparling Lodge. Bags were hand-delivered door to door.
This is for you, sir.
Oh, thank you very much. And many who made the trip stayed for some conversation and companionship.
It's a time of year, and this makes you, any of the ho-hums in your life or the humdrum, this makes you just sort of blank them. No, this is nice, uplifting.
We have been able to grow this program from year 1 of 40 seniors to year 11, where we'll be able to help 6,000 in the Edmonton, Sherwood Park, and St. Albert area this year get a gift.
Giving seniors a memorable experience this holiday season.
All in all, appreciative. Appreciative.
Gates Goran, CTV News, Edmonton.
Oh, wonderful. So, what is the best excuse you have in your back pocket for when you get pulled over? My dog ate my homework? No, that's not right. Some excuses are better than others, though. Stephen Colbert has your late laugh still to come. But first. On this day in 1970, Smokey Robinson and the Miracles began a 2-week run at #1 with Tears of a Clown. The song was inducted into the Grammy Hall of Fame in 2002. Your milestones are next.
The tears of a clown when there's no one around.
Time now for your milestones. First up this morning, happy 9th birthday to Ember with love from Mom, Dad, and Tara.
Happy 28th birthday to Kaylee. Love from Mom, Troy, Cody, Thomas, Emma, and Michael.
Happy 68th birthday to Munjin. Love from your sons, wife, friends, and your relatives in Korea.
Happy 2nd birthday to Emma. Love from Mama, Dada, and Mia.
Happy birthday to Roslyn. You're my forever one and only. Love from Doug.
Happy 23rd birthday to Brianna. We hope you have the best day today. Love from Mom, Dad, Rebecca, and Brendan.
Happy birthday to Seema Gupta with love from your family.
Happy 1st birthday to Bailey. Oh, lots of love from your family.
So cute. And happy birthday this weekend. Look at this girl. Happy birthday to Vanessa. Wishing you a year of big travel adventures and new discoveries. Best wishes from all of your friends here on Your Morning Vancouver. Looking good, Vanessa. Send us your milestones to bcmilestones@ctv.ca. Over to you, Steph.
Good morning. We made it to Friday with some very active weather. We are still dealing with that potential for more flooding. We do have special weather statements currently in place for the Fraser Valley still. We are anticipating the rain to amp up towards the end of the weekend, Saturday night into Sunday. Today's high 9 degrees. We're dealing with just some scattered showers, some light rain, drizzle in certain pockets. We broke a record in 2002 at 14 degrees, and we've got sundown tonight at 4:14. We've been holding strong at 4:14, but getting closer to that 8 o'clock hour for sunrise. Okay, so if you're doing any traveling today, it's really snow turning to rain later in the day with freezing levels rising. We are looking at a yellow warning currently, and that's for Rogers Pass, where we could be seeing up to 15 centimeters of heavy snow. So do take caution. A lot of snow expected for the interior region, and the Highway 3 as of right now, according to Drive BC, is closed. So we are into some more rain. We're into a very wet end of the weekend, Saturday night, if you're planning lots of Christmas parties this weekend. So do remember that there's a lot of moisture still on deck and potential for an atmospheric river again, which is what we're monitoring on Sunday into Monday. So there's a look at your forecast. We do have extreme cold warnings in place for the BCPs, Fort Nelson. We could be seeing some, as far as temperatures, it's mostly cloudy skies for Prince Rupert, Bella Coola, seeing that mixed precipitation. So rain on deck through the weekend, on and off. We'll see a little bit of a break on Saturday before it amps up Saturday night. Over to you. Some animals are making headlines lately. Here's Stephen Colbert with your late laugh.
You've heard of pardoning turkeys. Well, down in Miami, they have a different tradition. And a pig named 6'7" was pardoned by the Miami-Dade mayor, which sounds cute until you find out he was pardoned for murder. Yeah, he strangled a guy over a gambling debt. The guy would have paid him. Just needed more time. Pig wouldn't listen. And now it's free. Thanks, Mayor of Miami-Dade. You pardoned a murderer. He would have been delicious. Oh, no, I'm the murderer. Well, pardon me. Meanwhile, in Well, It Was Worth a Try news, after being arrested, a Florida man claims he was teleported into a stolen BMW by X-Men, telling police, "You saved me from the aliens." Hey, he was just exercising his Miranda rights. You have the right to remain silent, or you could do a fun one. Meanwhile, a lineman rescued a bear from an Arizona utility pole. There he is, carefully approaching to prod the bear until it climbs down and scampers off. Reached for comment, the bear said, "Hey, I was just trying to route a primary line through the new single-phase transformer with some jagbag started poking me with a stick. Why do I even have a union?"
He's just doing his job up there.
We've been seeing bears doing some wild things these days.
Yeah. Hey, what about getting pulled over? Have you ever been pulled over and then had an excuse for being pulled over?
I always have an excuse.
What do you get pulled over for?
Like usually if I'm, going a few
feet, just like
over.
It's a teeny weeny little
Not
bit.
very
right?
often. I've had a few. Come on, we've had.
Yes.
You've had a speeding ticket before, have you not?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Not disclosing.
Not many. No, maybe one.
Well, an owner checked in on their pet cam at home and discovered her dogs were real party animals. Imagine the shock of that owner to see just who was showing up at the door and being let in. We'll have that still to come.
Some may have just joined our party.
literally just joined our party.
An early Christmas gift for the federal Liberals, how another political defection has put them within grasp of a majority government. Floodwaters continue to impact parts of the Fraser Valley this morning, including a highway closure. We'll have the latest on evacuation alerts and school closures coming up. Your top stories are next.
Look, you can see, 20 minutes ago there was nothing there.
Flooding brought about by a powerful atmospheric river continues to impact Abbotsford. We'll have the latest on road closures, evacuation orders, and alerts. Also, it's not just Abbotsford. The latest on the worst floods to hit Washington state since 2021.
If this doesn't go through, it's looking more and more like, yes, this would be the demise of the Vancouver Whitecaps.
And reaction pours in as the Whitecaps work to create a new soccer stadium. Good morning, everyone. It's Friday, December 12th. Welcome to Your Morning, Vancouver. I'm Carrie Adams. Highway 1 is closed this morning at Abbotsford as floodwater continues to impact parts of the Fraser Valley. All schools in the Abbotsford School District are closed this morning, and evacuation orders have expanded with hundreds of properties now affected. Reagan Hasegawa is live near Highway 1 in Abbotsford this morning. Good morning, Reagan. And you are seeing a lot of water down on the road where you are right now.
Good morning, Carrie. For some context, we are just off of North Parallel and Whatcom this morning, and you can see just how bad the flooding is here. This really paints a picture as to why officials have had to close so much of the roadway. You can see it's completely flooded here. We had an officer escort us down here so we could safely get a better look at how bad it is, but even lifted trucks can barely make it through this giant puddle. We know just beyond that hill and behind there is Highway 1, where the closure is currently in effect between Sumas Road and Number 3 Road. Right now in the city of Abbotsford, about 350 evacuation orders and over 1,000 alerts as the situation continues to develop. You can tell it is a really fluid situation out here.
Yeah, so just as people are looking ahead to the weekend, Reagan, what are officials saying about the next weather system and what that could mean for flood conditions? I mean, they're already pretty bad now. What could that look like going forward?
That's right. This really could just be the beginning, and that's because they're expecting the Nooksack River, which has caused all of these major issues south of the border in Washington state, to continue to bring water over into the Fraser Valley, into the Sumas Prairie. Maybe even as late as this evening, it will continue to bring water here. So they're really monitoring the situation to see what happens. But there's also another atmospheric river in the forecast Sunday into Monday, and that could potentially bring even more issues because, as you can tell, we're already experiencing severe flooding here in Abbotsford. Carrie.
Yeah, looks pretty bad. Okay, Reagan Hasegawa joining us live. Thanks, Reagan. Meanwhile, worried farmers are hoping for the best, but they are bracing for the worst.
The adrenaline's pumping. I didn't sleep much at all.
This dairy farmer says he was forced to move dozens of heifers from his barn, which flooded in 2021. He's calling for more help, including pump stations or a drainage channel to prevent future situations like this. Meanwhile, Premier David Eby says the province has been able to respond much faster compared to the devastating flooding event of 2021.
It's really scary right now for a lot of people, especially in the Sumas Prairie area where they've seen this before and recently. Incredibly nerve-wracking for them because of the investments in the equipment to be able to predict river flows. We've been able to move much faster than we were in 2021. And the Barrowtown pump station is better protected than it was. But this is still very scary for a lot of people in the area, and certainly we've got the teams in place to provide the support that's necessary.
Eby goes on to say he has been in touch with mayors in impacted communities to make sure they have all the resources they need from the province. Wildland firefighters have also been called in to help. And south of the border, flooding has forced thousands from their homes in Whatcom County. Heavy, relentless rain pushed the Nooksack River over its banks, flooding streets and businesses in the border city of Sumas, Washington. The border crossing there has been shut down both ways, and all residents have been ordered to evacuate. Coast Guard crews have rescued about 30 people by boat and helicopter.
So we got the people out yesterday as much as possible, and then this morning the water showed up probably about 8 o'clock. We thought it'd be a little sooner than that, but it was kind of slow. But when it came, it was once again a lot of water in a hurry.
Several people were rescued after spending hours trapped inside a flooded home. Officials are calling this one of the worst floods since 2021. No fatalities have been reported. Well, turning now to Ottawa, Mark Carney's Liberals are now just one seat shy of a majority government after another Conservative MP crossed the floor, the second in 2 months.
All I want to say is Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and a great 2026 coming to all of you. Thank you.
Ontario MP Michael Ma was warmly welcomed by the Liberals at their holiday party last night. Ma said he entered politics to help people and looks forward to working with the Prime Minister. On social media, Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre posted a statement that read, "The people he let down the most are the ones who elected him to fight for an affordable future. He will have to answer to them." Well, back to BC now. More than a dozen Metro Vancouver mayors are calling on the NDP government to back off on forcing density on their communities. They want the province to repeal legislation related to housing targets and put an end to density mandates. The legislation requires municipalities to allow at least 4 units on single-family lots and heavily increased zoning around transit hubs. The 16 mayors have written a letter to the Premier frustrated with what they say has been a lack of consultation.
One size fits all does not work, and it will never work. And the public does not want this. And I think that I would appeal to the Premier to take a step back.
BC is leading the country in declines in asking rents. We're seeing a 30-year high in vacancy rates in Metro Vancouver. So we know that what we're doing is making a difference.
The mayors have explored a court challenge, but they've been told there's no legal path to overturning the province's housing legislation. Well, could the Vancouver Whitecaps soon have some spiffy new digs? The Whitecaps and City of Vancouver have signed a memorandum of understanding for the possible construction of a new stadium at Hastings Park. If the plan goes ahead, the city will retain the land and the Whitecaps will sign a fair market value lease to build on it. The Caps currently play at BC Place, but say that's not sustainable, in part because the team doesn't get a share of concession sales. One MLA who doesn't want to see the demise of horse racing at Hastings Park would prefer if an agreement could be reached to keep the team downtown instead.
The government won't make a deal with the Whitecaps to at least do proper revenue sharing on beer and hot dogs and jerseys and popcorn. Are you kidding me?
There's still so many hurdles left for the Whitecaps to clear for this to become reality. I'm hoping that the probabilities go well beyond 50% and closer to 90 within the next 10 months.
The MOU is just the first step in a long process, which also includes securing financing for a new stadium, likely to cost several $100 million. The frustration for the Vancouver Canucks continues after yet another loss, this time at the hands of the Buffalo Sabres.
Here's Max Sasson with a burst of speed through to the net, scores!
That go-ahead goal in the third period was not enough for Vancouver as the Canucks gave up 2 late goals in a 3-2 final score. The struggling Canucks currently sit dead last in the league with only 25 points. They will look to rebound on Sunday when they head to New Jersey to face the Devils. An Australian man got quite the shock from watching his pet cam when he saw his dog had let some of his farm animals into the living room of his home. This video shows his dog Thunder opening the glass door. Soon after, Sue, the steer, wanders in, followed by Cricket, the horse. The party animals trash the house, and the horse is suspected of drinking most of the water in the fishbowl. The owner was out for dinner at the time. It says the animals did make it back outside safely. Probably didn't clean up after themselves. Who'd have thought? Who let the animals in? And now we know it was the dogs.
Okay. Party animal, you said it. That's a great way to call it. They just want to be part of the party, I guess.
Not a lot of room in there.
Party season is on.
You see that horse walk in there? He's like, this is not enough space.
Yeah, not enough going on in here. I'm out. I'm out. Good morning, everyone. We made it to Friday. Quite the week. Some intense weather we've been dealing with. We do have more intense weather on the way towards the end of the weekend. I'm going to show you that. We have some things to tell you about. We have special weather statements in place still for the Fraser Valley, East, West, Central, where we are anticipating more moisture, potential for flooding, all those things throughout the weekend as we have another atmospheric river that we're anticipating Sunday into Monday. We're expecting some freezing rain Saturday morning for the North Coast inland, so that weather statement's in place. As far as warnings, the Caribou's under a snowfall warning, yellow for cold warning for the northern sections, and the BC Peace and Fort Nelson will be frigid. Here's our current flood warnings in place. So it was all yellow yesterday with high stream flow advisories, so that's good news. Those have been dropped. Now this is what we're dealing with. Similkameen, Tulameen, as well as the Sumas are in the red right now as far as the flood warnings go. So let's just take you to your day ahead here. So I'm going to show you, we're going to be seeing scattered showers throughout the day, rain a little bit tonight, but mostly hugging the mountains. And then as we get into Saturday night, Sunday morning, that's when that rain really does intensify. So today it's just some spotty showers, high of 9 degrees, Carrie.
That stuff. Let's take a look at the roads now this morning. We have a live shot to show you of the Oak Street Bridge. Yeah, it's a little bit blurry. I think we got some water on the lens there, and no problems there. Volume is building at this hour. We do want to tell you that Highway 1 and remind you that Highway 1 between Sumas Way and Number 3 Road is still blocked in both directions due to flooding. We were telling you about that at the top of our newscast. Also, Highway 3 between Hope and Princeton is still shut down due to the weather. There is no estimated time on when either of these major routes will reopen. We will keep you updated here on Your Morning Vancouver. Well, a terrifying moment for some skydivers in Australia.
The potential for this to have a very different outcome was very real.
Still to come, how a skydiver's parachute deployed early, leaving him dangling from a plane wing. The dramatic video of what happened next, still to come. But first, how likely is it that Canada could ban social media for younger teens? A closer look at how Australia's ban could shape decisions made by the rest of the world. That's coming up next. Australia has just become the first country in the world to ban social media for kids under 16. And now many people are wondering what that would look like in Canada. We're joined now by Dr. Shimi Kang, a psychiatrist and founder of Future Ready Minds. Good morning, Dr. Kang. Thanks for being here.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
So this ban is certainly the talk of teens around the world and parents. So supporters say this is really necessary to protect youth mental health. Do you think that a ban like this will have the intended impact on kids?
I definitely think it's a step in the right direction. We need to do something. We know that kids' mental health is suffering. Definitely this young age group with rising rates of addiction, anxiety, depression, suicidal thinking. So it is a step. There are holes, there's gaps. It's a big experiment. We can learn a lot from this bold step.
Yeah, I think the world is going to be watching this to see how it plays out. Are there any negative impacts on banning social media for teens?
Yeah, I mean, really great point. There's the forbidden fruit effect. Whenever you ban something, people want more of it. And I think it's more of a delay, right? It's not banned forever. It's delaying it until after age 16. There are workarounds too. Kids can use their parents' accounts and older, if they're professional actors or what have you. So yes, there are downsides. Marginalized youth like LGBTQ+ are concerned about their community, especially if they live in rural areas where they don't have access. And, you know, some of the tech companies are saying, we'll pay the fine. So there are a lot of downsides, I guess, and holes to work out. But generally, you know, young people are suffering. I've seen it in my own practice. We know it's happening around the world. Australia is the first, and I think any awareness on this topic is great.
You know, you just have to look at my teens and just see how much they scroll. What is the measurement of success of something like this? Like, how long do we have to watch to see what's happening in Australia to see, okay, that's working, and what are we looking for to see if it's actually working?
Yeah, great question. I don't know exactly what the Australian researchers are looking at. I would guess things like measures, anything from emergency room visits to health self-harm. That's one of the big measures we looked at in North America. To engagement in the school, focus, concentration, grades, community building, cyberbullying. We know that has also gone up since COVID. So looking at online trends of hate, misinformation, it goes far beyond just content. It is also sleep deprivation, and then all of the health issues that are connected to that, lack of social skills. So there'll be many measures, in my opinion. I think the Australian government asked the population, 77% of parents wanted this. So it'll be interesting to see how we respond.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we have any results from any kind of polling here in Canada, but if Canada or other countries around the world were to look at what's happening there and say, we want to try this, is that something that we should do?
Yes. Right now, there's something called the Countdown for Kids. It is a campaign that the Canadian Parliament is being asked to pass the Online Safety Act for kids. It was a promise from a few years ago. It's been delayed. We're really hoping that it passes 2026, early 2026. It has more teeth in the sense of accountability to the social media companies. We can't expect parents and kids to really know how to manage multi-billion-dollar algorithms that are designed to addict their brain, that are designed to keep them connected. So we do need government help, we do need regulation, and we need that Online Safety Act passed in Canada. It'll be a definite first step for Canada.
Yeah, and you talk about those algorithms. I mean, I don't understand them for the most part. I think that when it's impacting your teen, you worry about how it's impacting them and why they can't seem to get it out of their hands. What should parents be doing in the meantime while we sort of wait and see how things play out in Australia?
Yeah, I always go back to the metaphor of a healthy tech diet. So really looking at tech, not as good or bad, evil or, you know, the greatest thing, but saying what is the healthy tech to consume? So information that is credible, community building, activism, self-care. There's so many good things, creativity. Limit that junk tech, the sugar, that addictive bag of chips that has no value, and then talk to your kids and monitor the toxic. There is a lot of harm, a lot of risk. It's not all bad. And really approach it like food. We do that all the time. It's repetitive, it's annoying. We have to keep talking about it, but it is worth those conversations.
Wow, well, I'm sure we'll have more conversations about this. Shimmy Kang, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you, Carrie.
Thanks for your expertise. Well, caring for those with cancer during the holidays can be pretty difficult. Coming up, we are learning more about a program that is keeping spirits bright during an isolating time for some. Also,
the potential for this to have a very different outcome was very real.
how a skydiver's parachute deployed early, leaving him dangling from a plane wing. We'll tell you what happened next when we come back. Stay with us.
Give your workplace a boost with a CTV Your Morning Vancouver One Coffee break. Enter now for a chance to win a variety of delicious K-Cup coffee pods and a brand new Keurig coffee machine courtesy of One Coffee. Each month, CTV community host Mona Mahmood will visit the winning workplace to deliver this exciting package. Enter online at ctvvancouver.ca or scan the QR code on your screen. Good luck. Good morning, it's 7:23. Welcome back to Your Morning Vancouver. It's Friday and it's not too bad out there. We'll take some scattered showers, light rain, drizzle. That's kind of the theme this morning around the south coast. As far as our mountain passes, a little bit of a different story. It'll be snow changing to rain with rising freezing levels. And we do have a yellow warning in place for Rogers Pass. We're expecting heavy snow up to 15 centimeters. Monitoring Drive BC, and we right now have Highway 3 closed as far as mountain passes are concerned. So here's a look. This rain tracker does take us all the way into Sunday morning. So it's really going to be amping up through the late overnight Saturday into Sunday morning. We have a big weather event Sunday into Monday. That's when we're expecting that heavier rain. So this is just the kind of the beginning of what we're going to see on Sunday morning. So here we are. It's scattered showers, on and off rain, some drizzle, a little bit of everything. Temperatures at 10 degrees in Victoria, 7 in Port Alberni. Will hit 11 in Tofino. snow. So a mild one, cooler but still wet up in Whistler Village, and Squamish 5 degrees with some of that on-off rain is expected. So our temperatures a sliver above seasonal for where we should be this time of the year. But again, we are monitoring this system Sunday into Monday and early next week. So we do have weather statements in place for the Fraser Valley right now. Areas could be seeing, especially around Hope, up to 40 millimeters. Oh, scenic snapshot. Here we go. Look at this taken last night in Yellowknife. Jordan Bickford sent this photo in. If you would like to send us your photo, please email scenicsnapshot@ctv.ca. Carrie?
Well, that is not of this world. That is absolutely incredible. Thanks for that. Well, turning now to a scare in the air caught on camera. A skydiver's parachute deployed early, causing him to get stuck on the plane's tail, dangling 15,000 feet above the ground. NBC's George Solis has more on the literal brush with death.
The terrifying scare at 15,000 feet caught on camera. Watch, this skydiver's backup parachute inadvertently open as he's about to jump out of a plane, launching him backwards. His parachute cords wrapping around the plane's tail, his legs striking the plane.
The potential for this to have a very different outcome was very real.
The harrowing scene unfolding this past September in Queensland, Australia, as a group from a skydive club attempted a formation that was being filmed. You can see the skydiver's parachute handle snag on the plane's wing, deploying his chute. The skydiver knocks into the group's camera operator, sending him into a free fall. He's able to land on the ground safely.
How crucial was it for everyone to remain calm under pressure here?
Well, most definitely for the parachutist involved. There's a lot of options in front of you. Choosing the right ones is not always as easy as it sounds.
Investigators say the skydiver who was stuck managed to grab his hook knife and cut through 11 lines of his backup parachute in 50 seconds. Once free, the skydiver was able to pull the cord to his main parachute and get on the ground safely. Authorities also credit the pilot who declared a mayday call and successfully landed the plane.
It's great to release a report that has an outcome like this.
Incredibly, the skydiver only suffered minor injuries to his legs. The camera operator telling NBC News they were able to share a few hugs and drinks after. George Solis, NBC News.
Can you imagine the moments that is happening? What is, like, your heart would no doubt be racing. What's going through your mind in those seconds?
No, I mean, have you ever gone skydiving?
No.
I have once, and I will never do it again. But I mean, these stories they're terrifying.
Well, I mean, when you see the video of just how quickly that happens, and I'm glad everyone made it safe.
Yeah, that's a miracle.
And they managed to have a beer after, so that's a good day.
More than one, I hope.
Whew. Yeah. Well, cartoons made us believe that quicksand would be a much bigger threat, and for one hiker, it was. How he ended up stuck in quicksand in freezing temperatures for hours. We'll have more on that still to come. Also, a man involved with the BC ostrich farm protest has been charged. What we know about the incident that left a 73-year-old woman injured. Plus, we're getting a close look this morning at the impact of flooding in the Fraser Valley. We'll have the latest on evacuation alerts and school closures, and some incredible pictures coming up of just how high the water is in some places. Our top stories are coming up next. Thanks for joining us. We begin in Abbotsford, where major flooding is not over yet. Flooding from an atmospheric river has closed schools for the day, while multiple evacuation orders and alerts are still in effect, and several roads in the Abbotsford area are closed. Reagan Hasegawa is joining us now near Highway 1 in a very flooded area. Reagan, how difficult is it to get around Abbotsford this morning?
Good morning, Carrie. This really does paint a picture of how bad some of the flooding is in Abbotsford this morning. As you mentioned, Highway 1, just over my shoulder here, closed between Sumas and Number 3 Road this morning just because of all the floodwaters making their way onto the highway. Major concerns for public safety. This is North Parallel near Whatcom, and the puddle here is so deep that even lifted trucks are having a hard time navigating through this morning. About 450 evacuation orders, over 1,000 evacuation alerts. And here to talk more about the road conditions that we're experiencing here in Abbotsford this morning is Sergeant Paul Walker with Abbotsford Police. And Paul, this puddle is huge. We're watching trucks trying to navigate through this. You might be hit by the wave here. But can you just paint a picture for us? What are roads like?
Yeah, so as you mentioned, Highway 1's closed both directions between Number 3 Road and Sumas Way here, Highway 11 in Abbotsford. The water's deep on the highway.
Oh, he's literally been hit by a wave here, so give him a second here. Water in your boots now.
Yeah, so the highway's closed. There will be throughout the day. Different traffic and control points throughout the community, both with flagging companies and Abbotsford police officers. Please, the message is to respect those points. They're there for keeping the community safe. We do not want to continue to go down roads like we did last night, where a few people went down blocked roads, got themselves submerged, and had to be rescued from the tops of their vehicles. That's taking away first responders from doing what they need to do to keep the community safe. Last night, again, was an example. We had to shut the highway down in a very quick period of time, moving thousands of people off the highway over a few-hour period. What I'll say is everyone was calm, cool and collective is how I'll describe that. They were patient. They followed direction. We were able to clear that very quickly in a few hours and keep everyone safe. So when we have people that go around those barriers, that submerge their vehicles and require rescue, it's taking critical emergency service response and pulling them in directions where they don't need to be pulled.
How fluid is the situation? How quickly is it changing?
Yeah, so that last evening it changed quite quickly with the water there. Throughout the day, it will change. The Emergency Operations Center is in charge of looking at that and monitoring that. I'll leave them that to them to discuss that and put that information out. But us on the ground, Abbey PD officers, we're moving where we need to be. We've brought in additional officers to help out with the road closure points and any public safety related things. So that's being managed well. And we're all working together. It's the community, again, coming together, working alongside each other and navigating this as today comes and the days to come.
That's Sergeant Paul Walker with the Abbotsford Police Department. Thank you for being a good sport instead and getting your feet wet this morning, just to paint a picture of how bad the road conditions are this morning. And as you mentioned earlier, Carrier, we are expecting more bad weather, another atmospheric river, possibly Sunday into Monday. So officials monitoring that situation very closely. But again, the message in the Fraser Valley, if you don't need to travel around here, please stay home. Carrie.
Yeah, good advice. Okay, Reagan Hasegawa joining us. Thanks, Reagan. Well, in the meantime, 5 people and 4 dogs had to be rescued after getting trapped on an island on the flooded Chilliwack River. The group was camping out on the island overnight Wednesday when disaster struck. Chilliwack Search and Rescue says it responded with 20 members, including a raft team and swiftwater specialists. For hours, the team tried to reach the island only to determine there was no safe way. The stranded individuals thought they could stick it out until morning, but that quickly changed.
Condition did deteriorate a little bit over the course of the next few hours, which resulted in us calling North Shore Rescue and Talon helicopters.
North Shore Rescue was able to hoist all 5 people and their dogs off the island. Everyone got out safe. No one was hurt. Well, turning now to Ottawa and another headache for the federal Conservative Party. Another MP has crossed the floor to join the Liberals, and he was introduced to his new colleagues at the Liberals' Christmas party last night.
So let's give a warm welcome to our newest member of the Liberal Party, Michael.
That means the Liberals are now just 1 seat shy of a majority government. Ma had attended the Conservative holiday party the night before, even posing for a photo with leader Pierre Poilievre. An Ontario man's been charged in connection to a protest at a BC ostrich farm. Authorities said the alleged incident happened in September, weeks after the Canadian Food Inspection Agency was granted a warrant to search the Universal Ostrich Farm in Edgewood. They say 60-year-old Timothy Reagan has been charged with assault with a weapon, and mischief. Mounties have not provided further details about the incident, but say a 73-year-old woman received medical care from officers at the scene. Reagan is scheduled to appear in court in January. Well, King Charles is set to speak during a digital TV broadcast today about his cancer diagnosis and recovery. The recorded message will be broadcast this evening on Britain's Channel 4. It is set to give Charles a chance to reflect on his experiences over the last 22 months since undergoing treatment for an undisclosed type of cancer. The monarch suspended public engagements for about 2 months after his diagnosis, but returned to the public eye in April last year. Well, a hiker's journey through a popular national park took a dangerous turn when he became stuck in quicksand.
Felt like I had stepped into concrete and then it hardened around my leg. I couldn't even move it a millimeter.
This is the moment a rescue drone spotted the hiker stuck in quicksand, struggling to get free. The hiker was in a canyon in Orcas National Park in Utah when he sank knee-deep into it. The experienced hiker used a GPS satellite messenger to alert rescuers to his location, but was stuck for hours in freezing temperatures by the time a park ranger arrived. After a failed attempt to shovel himself out, a full search and rescue team came to the rescue. The hiker says he knows it was a narrow escape, adding that it was the closest he'd been to dying. Well, thank goodness he had that GPS messaging device that he was able to get in touch with people, because that's the stuff dreams or nightmares are made of. That's scary stuff.
You know what? Ever since I was a kid, and they always, in the Looney Tunes, always had quicksand.
And like Gilligan's Island.
Right?
It's always
Gilligan's Island, where they, yes. And ever since then, but you mean, you don't hear about these areas or the quicksand,
you don't think you're ever going to stumble across it.
No. So, wow. Definitely wow.
Glad they were able to get him out.
Yep. Absolutely. So we made it through that atmospheric river. We are expecting another one Sunday into Monday. Right now, it's some light rain, some drizzle. So we are enjoying a little bit of a pause, nothing too major as far as the moisture that's coming down right now. However, we do still have special weather statements in place. I will show you that for the Fraser Valley. Currently 7 degrees out there right now. There they are, those areas in blue. So that is the Fraser Valley East West Central that is under a special weather statement, because we are anticipating a lot more moisture as the system moves in, and areas right around those could be seeing, especially around Hope, up to 40 millimeters of rainfall. And we've got the North Coast inland where we'll be seeing some freezing rain expected into your Saturday morning. Snowfall, 10 centimeters for the Caribou expected, and very, very cold frigid temperatures for the BC piece. Here's our flood warnings currently in place. So that does, of course, include Sumas, Similkameen, and the Tulameen regions. Rain, drizzle for your day ahead. Now let's go check in with Mona.
Good morning from the Greater Vancouver Zoo, where we are hanging out with Santa. I was just catching him up on my wish list. Hopefully I've made the nice list this year. Now, Santa, you are visiting the Zoo Lights event for the very first time here happening at the zoo. How's it going so far, and how often are you here?
I'm loving it. I'm here every night from 5 to 8. We come and visit all the children. We come and visit the animals, and it's been wonderful. All the lights and this beautiful couch and dome we get to visit the kids in.
Absolutely, and families can come by and take their photos with you as well. What have been some of the most requested items on people's wish lists?
Some people want a diamond ring. Some people want toys, Barbies. I get all sorts of requests, and I try to get the elves to put those together to bring them to all the children.
Absolutely. Well, one of the top things on my list is to see everything that the Lower Mainland has to offer this time of year. And first on my wish list is getting to explore the Greater Vancouver Zoo. So let's go ahead and do that. Thanks, Santa.
Okay. Thanks for coming, and I'm looking forward to visiting with everyone that comes to the zoo.
Well, from Santa's Dome to this beautiful gingerbread house, that is just two of the several attractions at the Greater Vancouver Zoo's Zoo Light event. And here to tell us more about it is Manita. Good morning. Good morning. So, Manita, talk to us a little bit about some of the displays that you have going on this time of year. We just met Santa. He was lovely.
Yes. Yeah, so our Zoo Lights event is a really unique event that we wanted to create an experience for guests to see the zoo in a different way after dark. So we do also have our Arctic Express miniature train.
I was just going to ask about that. So just behind here, there's a train stop.
Yes, exactly. Our Arctic station.
Absolutely. So where does that go?
It actually takes you around the entire zoo, so beyond what you can walk around and see as part of the Zoo Lights experience.
Okay, well, we're going to hitch a ride and go check out a little bit more of everything that Zoo Lights has to offer. Shall we do that?
Excellent.
Let's do it. So, Manita, now we've reached your Mystic Grove light display. Talk to us a little bit about what people will see and hear in here.
Yeah, so this is really the magical creation, like an enchanted forest of the zoo. So we are walking up on towards our Tree of Light, which is an amazing work of craftsmanship.
So talk to us a little bit about some of the admission and what that looks like.
Yeah, so the zoo is open from 12 till 9 p.m. If you come during the day before 4 p.m., you get to explore the zoo and visit the animals. And then the lights come on between 4 and 5, and then you get to experience the beautiful Zoo Lights event. So we are open every day except for Christmas Day until January 10th.
Of course, so one ticket gets you 2 different events. You can come and see the animals when it's daytime out, and then at night you get to see this holiday experience in front of the Tree of Life. It's a great way to end. So Benita, thank you so much for your time with us this morning. And as you heard, those tickets are available now. They start at just $16, so it's a great, affordable, family-friendly experience to come check out the Greater Vancouver Zoo and their holiday Zoo Lights display.
Incredible. Thanks for that. Well, the first 2 episodes of Taylor Swift's docu-series have just dropped.
We have done something that no one has ever done.
Still to come, a first look at some of the emotional moments, including Taylor's reaction to a major security threat in Vienna. That is a bit later. But first, we're going to learn more about a program that's keeping spirits bright during an isolating time for people caring for loved ones with cancer during the holidays. Stay with us. On a good day, dealing with cancer can be challenging for both patients and their loved ones. But this holiday, a local nonprofit is stepping up, offering a message of hope and positivity. They want you to know there is a place you can turn to. Joining us to share more on that is CEO of Inspire Health Supportive Care, Lavina Chera. Good morning. Thank you for being here.
Thanks, Carrie.
You know, Inspire Health has been a constant source of support for people fighting cancer. Why is it so important for people to be able to continue to access that support through the holidays?
Well, Inspire Health provides supportive cancer care. So what that is everything outside of treatment to support someone's physical and emotional health through cancer. So you can imagine during the holidays how isolating it is for cancer patients. I think the holidays can be tough for any of us, but for cancer patients in particular, it's very difficult. So our clinicians, often see patients coming in distress. There's the stress of the fatigue maybe they're feeling, or the isolation that they're feeling, expectations from family, and sometimes even wondering, are they going to be here next Christmas? So it's a really tough time, and it's a time that, they need that little bit of extra support.
I can only imagine. And I imagine for family members of those who are undergoing the treatment, also need that support. Maybe expand on that.
Yeah, absolutely. So the services we provide are for cancer patients and their loved ones, recognizing exactly what you said. So, cancer can be very tough for the patient, but also the loved ones. And they need support too. They need support sometimes in knowing how best to support their loved one, but sometimes they need support themselves as well because they're going through their own emotional turmoil. So we are there to support both the patient and their family.
So what do those programs look like?
Our programs are quite extensive. We're the only community-based organization in the province that provides these comprehensive services. They're all free, by the way, and they range from strength and stretch to yoga to art therapy. We have nutrition classes, educational programs. Those are all our group programs. We have about 20 a week, but we also provide one-on-one support with our clinicians. So we have supportive care physicians, counselors, dietitians, exercise therapists. So they work together with the patient, really trying to understand what each of their goals and their needs are, and building a program to support them through the one-on-one support and through the multitude of group programming that we have.
So what is your message for that we'd like to get across for people who are there undergoing cancer treatment and know that they need that extra support, or their loved ones who sort of identify that this is an area that they need that support?
I think a big problem is people don't know that these services exist, and they're not necessarily easy to access and all in one place, and that's what we can do for patients. So we have centers in Vancouver, Victoria, Kelowna, and next week we're actually opening in Kamloops. So we're super excited about that. But aside from that, we have this virtual platform that we've built over the last few years, and what that means is that it doesn't matter whether you're in Vancouver or in Prince George. All you have to do is literally pick up the phone or go to our website, and we can get you the support that you need. So the support is there. There's no financial barriers to access because everything is free. There's no geographic barriers to access. So that's the biggest thing, I think, to get across to people, is that support is there waiting for them, and it's a community of support. And every single person that works at the organization is so passionate about the work that we do. So they're going to get some caring, compassionate, empathetic support through the holidays.
I'm sure that would be such a relief to know that it is virtual care, and no matter where someone is in the province, that they can be able to access that. Thanks so much for that information. Lavina Shera from Inspire Health, thanks for joining us this morning and highlighting some of the work that you do.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming in. Well, stick around, everyone. More Your Morning Vancouver coming up right after the break, including your sidebar.
Welcome back to Your Morning Vancouver. It's 7:52 on Friday. Yay, we made it. There's some rain and drizzle happening around much of the lower mainland. 8 degrees with ready for the weekend, and we do have more rain on deck moving in Saturday night into your Sunday. So we're monitoring beginning of next week. We do expect quite a bit of moisture. Today we'll just take the lighter side, but very mild. Freezing levels are rising. Do take caution out there, and we do still have weather statements in place for the Fraser Valley.
Yeah, and of course the schools in Abbotsford are closed because of the flooding situation there. But all right, it's trying to brighten things up with your sidebar. Things off with an early Christmas present for these grandkids.
What is this? Let's go!
Oh my gosh, it's a secret games room through a secret door in the bathroom. What? Their grandparents just moved to a new house and decided to add a fun place for their grandkids to play in, complete with multiple TVs, video game consoles, a big comfy couch to fight on, and a basketball hoop. Oh, look at this. This looks like such fun. These grandparents are the coolest, aren't they?
Yeah,
wow.
Just grandparent goals. I am going to be I'm going to bring the fun. That is so cool, though.
You got to carve out a secret room in your house and add all the stuff in it.
Maybe not. I'll do something adventurous.
Yeah, no kidding.
Absolutely. Now to an unexpected surprise while doing laundry.
Here's the bag. I have to be the only person in the world that this has happened to.
This is where we're at so far.
Oh.
Mamma mia! This woman realized she washed a bag of pasta with her laundry after coming home from Italy.
Ew.
Apparently, the secret spaghetti stash was packed in with her dirty clothes for safekeeping. The good news is it was cooked perfectly al dente. The bad news is she might need a new washing machine.
Oh my gosh! No kidding. And it literally cooked it in the wash. That's disgusting.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh. That would clog things up.
Check your pockets.
Check your pockets. No kidding. Finally this morning, a fun game for your family and friends this holiday season. What is happening here? Okay, so the goal apparently is to spin around for 30 seconds and then jump on your piece of paper. It looks harder. It's harder than it looks, apparently. And in this case, it doesn't appear that there was any winner. And then the next game is trying to get back up.
I've fallen and I can't get up.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Oh, would it be what, 8 again?
Well,
10?
They were not 8. They were like 48. Good luck with that. Looks like fun.
Some of them look like they were 8.
All right, that's your sidebar, everyone. A new twist as the Vancouver Whitecaps search for a new owner.
This partnership has the potential to create a heck of a lot of jobs, boost our local economy,
The Caps and the city just signed a big deal, but will it mean residents will get a new stadium, and at what cost? Also,
Some may have just joined our party. Some, like literally, just joined our party.
an early Christmas gift for the federal Liberals, how another political defection has put them within grasp of a majority government. Floodwaters continue to impact parts of the Fraser Valley, including a highway closure in Abbotsford. We'll have the latest when we come back. Your top stories are next. We're tracking the latest developments on the flooding wreaking havoc in Abbotsford. Evacuation orders are still in place. Schools are shuttered for the day, and some roads remain closed.
So let's give a warm welcome to our newest member of the Liberal Party,
The Liberals creep closer to a majority government with the defection of another Conservative. And it's the final day to get a slice of a massive bread price-fixing settlement. Good morning, everyone. It's Friday, December 12th. Welcome to Your Morning, Vancouver. Highway 1 remains closed this morning in Abbotsford as floodwaters continue to impact parts of the Fraser Valley. All schools in the Abbotsford School District are closed this morning, and evacuation orders have been expanded with hundreds of properties now affected. Reagan Hasegawa is live near Highway 1 in Abbotsford this morning. Good morning, Reagan. The backdrop behind you in there is quite astounding. Just a ton of water on the road right now.
Good morning, Carrie. Yes, and that's why there is that Highway 1 shutdown just in behind my shoulder this morning. You can see just how big this puddle is. This is Wacom near North Parallel, and I'm in ankle-deep water, and I'm just on the edge of this puddle. I couldn't go any deeper. The water would end up in my boots, and every time a truck comes by, it's essentially like a little tidal wave coming through here. So that's how much water there is, and that's why people are being urged to stay off the roads if they don't need unnecessary travel. Here's Sergeant Paul Walker from Abbotsford Police.
The highway's closed. It will be throughout the day. Different traffic and control points throughout the community, both with flagging companies and Abbotsford police officers. Please, the message is to respect those points. They're there for keeping the community safe. We do not want to continue to go down roads like we did last night, where a few people went down blocked roads, got themselves submerged, and had to be rescued from the tops of their vehicles.
Yeah, that's the last thing you want to see, is police having to use their resources to rescue people right now. We know that Highway 1, Reagan, remains closed between Sumas Way and Number 3 Road. Are we getting a sense of when that could potentially reopen?
Not at this point, Carrie, and that's because the floodwaters from the Nooksack River in Washington State are going to continue to come across the border, maybe even into the evening, according to the last update from officials, although we are expecting to hear more from them in a few hours. So the situation is really changing very fluidly, very dynamically. As you heard from Paul Walker there, it can change in a matter of minutes. So they really want people to just stay off the roads altogether. If they don't need to be out here, please stay home.
And it's not raining right now. That's good news where you are. You're not holding your umbrella. But give us a sense of where we are at with evacuation alerts and evacuation orders. Are we expected to see more of those today?
It is just sprinkling right now, but I've taken my umbrella down so you can get a better look. But in terms of evacuations, we have more than 450 in orders. That's in the Huntington Village area as well as Sumas Prairie West. We also know there's some significant flooding in the Clayburn area. But then also on top of that, another 1,000+ evacuation orders. So those people need to be ready to go at a moment's notice. So we'll have to wait in a couple hours to see what the provincial update is going to be. But we do know another atmospheric river is on its way Sunday into Monday, and that could bring significantly more floodwaters to this already inundated Sumas Prairie area. Carrie.
As we head into the weekend, that's definitely something officials will be keeping a closer look at. I know in the past we had talked about, especially yesterday, people were driving through barricaded areas. Are we seeing any of that today?
That is a big issue this morning, Carrie. And actually, the road up top here is blocked off. So every time you see a vehicle go in behind me, that is someone going around the blockade. And that's something that officials are really urging people against. A lot of these puddles are really deceiving. They look like they're just ankle deep. But then once you get to the middle of the puddle, they're a lot deeper. And as you heard from Paul Walker there, they've actually had to rescue people, multiple people from their vehicles because they've gotten stuck in this water. And of course, whenever that happens, that's diverting emergency resources away from places that need it, because those people then have to be rescued by search and rescue and first responders.
Yeah, state of emergency remains in effect in Abbotsford this morning. Okay, Reagan Hasegawa, thanks for your reports this morning. Stay safe, and we'll check back with you in half an hour. Well, Premier David Eby says that the province actually has been able to respond much faster compared to the flooding event of 2021.
It's really scary right now for a lot of people, especially in the Sumas Prairie area where they've seen this before and recently. Incredibly nerve-wracking for them because of the investments in the equipment to be able to predict river flows. We've been able to move much faster than we were in 2021. And the Barrowtown pump station is better protected than it was. But this is still very scary for a lot of people in the area, and certainly we've got the teams in place to provide the support that's necessary.
Eby goes on to say that he has been in touch with mayors in impacted communities to make sure they have all the resources they need from the province. Wildland firefighters have also been called in to assist. In Ottawa, Mark Carney's Liberals are now just one seat shy of a majority government after another Conservative MP crossed the floor, the second in 2 months.
All I want to say is Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and a great 2026 coming to all of you. Thank you.
Ontario MP Michael Ma was warmly welcomed by the Liberals at their holiday party last night. Ma said he entered politics to help people and looks forward to working with the Prime Minister. On social media, Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre posted a statement that read, "The people he let down the most are the ones who elected him to fight for an affordable future. He will have to answer to them." Well, heads up, it is the last day for Canadians to get their share of a $500 million class action lawsuit that accused the parent company of Loblaws of being part of an industry-wide scheme to fix the price of bread. CTV Scott Hurst is joining us now with more on this story. Good morning to you, Scott. Today is the deadline. What should people know about this if they want to submit their claim?
Carrie, good morning. Here's your chance at some dough, part of a $500 million settlement, and it is the last call today to submit a claim for a share of the $500 million bread price-fixing settlement related to alleged industry-wide price fixing of packaged bread. So let's walk through the details of what you'll need to know. Anybody in Canada, regardless of where you live, adults in Canada can apply. No proof of purchase is necessary, so no stress trying to find a years-old grocery receipt. You're eligible if you bought packaged bread between 2001 and 2021. You just need to file a claim online. There's a separate claim process for Quebec residents. Now, this stems from accusations against Loblaw and its parent company of engaging in an industry-wide scheme to fix the price of bread, along with other big players in the industry who have denied involvement, ultimately, Carrie, impacting the price we paid at the grocery store for packaged bread.
Okay, so Scott, what comes next for anyone who has submitted claims, and when can we expect compensation?
You can expect to receive compensation between 6 to 12 months. So at some point in 2026, that money will appear in your account. According to the website where you file the claim, payment will be made by Interac e-transfer or, if requested, by check. And the amount of compensation, ultimately, the amount of money you'll get back, will depend on the number of claims. Now, what comes next from a legal perspective? The law firm at the center of the class action says it is still pushing for more accountability. Here's more from them.
We've been litigating for 8 years. It's been very difficult. It's an expensive, protracted, slow process. But we did our best to hold Loblaw's feet to the fire. But to their credit, they came to the table. But the most important thing, in addition to the money, The other really important feature is that we're going to be getting information from Loblaws in Q1 next year, which we hope will, let's just say, bolster our cases against the other alleged co-conspirators.
Carrie, other major Canadian grocers, including Metro, Sobeys, Walmart, Canada Bread, and Giant Tiger, were also accused of price fixing during the time frame covered in this suit, but they have all denied involvement. But bottom line for today, to get the compensation and be part of this settlement, people like you and me can go online and apply, but the deadline is today.
Okay, Scott Hurst joining us this morning, telling us how we can get our dough. Thanks for that, Scott.
Thanks, Carrie.
Have a good day. Well, could the Vancouver Whitecaps soon have some spiffy new digs? The Whitecaps and the City of Vancouver have signed a memorandum of understanding for the possible construction of a new stadium at Hastings Park. If the plan goes ahead, the city will retain the land and the Whitecaps will sign a fair market value lease to build on it. The Caps currently play at BC Place, but say that's not sustainable in part because the team doesn't get a share of concession sales. One MLA who doesn't want to see the demise of horse racing at Hastings would prefer if an agreement could be reached to keep the team downtown instead.
The government won't make a deal with the Whitecaps to at least do proper revenue sharing on beer and hot dogs and jerseys and popcorn. Are you kidding me?
There's still so many hurdles left for the Whitecaps to clear for this to become reality. I'm hoping that the probabilities go well beyond 50% and closer to 90 within the next 10 months.
The MOU is just the first step in a long process, which also includes securing financing for a new stadium, likely to cost several $100 million. All right, we will see what happens there. We'll follow that. In the meantime, Steph joins us now. Good morning, Steph.
Good morning.
A little bit of a break, I think, right now for rain, but it is going to be picking up. And we're going to really see that this weekend.
Absolutely. So let's enjoy the light rain right now. Quite a week, still dealing with all the flooding. I'm going to show you where we do still have flood warnings in place, as well as we have special weather statements in place for the Fraser Valley, all areas right now because of the amount of rain that is expected in through the next several days, taking us into early next week. CTV Weather is brought to you by Craftsman Collision, BC's leader in auto body repair. Happy Friday. You're going to see any snow really through the passes from snow turning to rain as our freezing levels are rising. There's those statements that I was telling you about. It's because we are anticipating that rain to really pick up Saturday night into Sunday and into early next week. So advisories right now likely to change as we get into the weekend. Inland sections right around Terrace, expecting for the North Coast some freezing rain Saturday morning. Heavy snow. We've got yellow warnings in place for the Caribou for snowfall and cold warnings in place for those northern sections, including the BC Peace and Fort Nelson. So here's where we're sitting right now. We have seen an improvement. We had high stream flow advisories across the board. Those have been lifted, and now we're dealing with Sumas, Similkameen, and Tulameen, who are under those flood warnings at this time. Taking you now into your day, I'm just going to show you that it is going to be a little bit of rain, drizzle, on and off, not too much, nothing too major. A high of 9 degrees today, and then it's going to be into Saturday night, Sunday, that we'll start to really see that rain intensify. Over to you.
All right. Thanks for that, Stephanie. Let's take a look at what's happening on the roads this morning. A live shot of the Pattullo Bridge to show you. Here comes all the traffic right now. No problems to report there on this Friday morning. However, as we've been telling you throughout the morning, Highway 1 remains closed between Sumas Way and Number 3 Road, both directions due to flooding. Highway 3 between Hope and Princeton is still blocked due to road conditions there. There is still no estimated time on when either of these major routes will be reopening. We will watch this story as it develops throughout the day. Well, still to come, a powerful partnership in BC waters.
Discover things you never expected.
How orcas and dolphins teamed up in their hunt for salmon. What a duo. But first, fresh off the runway of Canada's drag race, we'll be joined by one of the BC contestants who has just stepped off the stage of Canada's biggest drag competition. That's right after the break.
Hazel. Yes. Behind those hazel eyes is a star on the rise.
Thank you so much for this opportunity. I feel so blessed to be here.
Well, we are so blessed to have you here.
Thank you.
Now sashay away. This flat weight will end.
Well, it certainly wasn't the result that this BC drag queen was hoping for on Canada's Drag Race. After making it through the first 3 episodes, Vancouver's own Hazel was eliminated last night, despite putting on one heck of a show. And here to talk about her time on Canada's Drag Race is the queen herself, Hazel. Good morning, Hazel. Thank you for being here.
Oh my, good morning. Thank you for having me.
I just want to say I have seen you perform live, and I think that you're absolutely fantastic. I just want to put it out there.
Thank you.
You're amazing to watch. But last night's episode, a little bit of a disappointment. How are you feeling after the elimination on Canada's Drag Race?
Honestly, well, I realized that I'm a pretty crier, first of all.
That's important.
But secondly, no, my experience, like watching that back, you know, it was filmed a couple months ago. So just reliving it all, it just brought up all the emotions, and especially going against my other local performer here, PM, and that was just pulling all the heartstrings. But you know what? That was probably one of the best lip syncs of the whole entire franchise. So, you know, I am very happy that I left it all out on that stage.
Let's break that down a little bit more, because it did all come down to this lip sync battle, and as you mentioned, against fellow Vancouver queen PM.
Yeah.
What was going through your mind when you're doing this?
Wow. Okay, so I was not actually thinking I was going to be up against PM. I thought I was going to be the other person in the bottom. So it kind of threw me for a loop. And I know PM is a trained dancer of many, many years. I just used to throw myself off of 10 meters. So that's about it. So I was like, well, you got to give it your all, show levels, and hope for the best.
Okay, so you rooting for PM now?
Absolutely.
Going for the local.
Oh, 100%. I love P so much. Like, I used to watch P before I even started drag, you know? So it was very, very inspiring to be on the same season as them as well.
Wonderful. What is it like being on the show? I mean, what did you learn? What I learned is that you got to get ready fast, and you've got this look down now.
So it's literally like, while you're on the show, you're under time constraints, and you have to fit everything in those time constraints. So now I can paint this face in literally an hour and a half or under an hour and a half. And then also, it just also helps elevate you in different ways that you wouldn't really put yourself in before. So like, for example, like the roast yesterday, I would never put myself in doing a roast. You know, I'm not that type of person, you know, I'm funny, but like when it comes down to being in front of an audience, which is crazy because I do that all the time, but it's different from performing versus having to roast your fellow competitors. But I think some of them were good, okay? Some of them were good.
Oh, you know, you had a lot of different runway looks, and one that stood out was that spooky look during the In the Shadows competition. So how did you put that one together?
So I really went with my Scottish heritage there and the folklore called a kelpie. So it's a little water creature horse that takes back their prior human and then just ends their life.
Oh my gosh.
So my gran used to tell me that growing up, so I really wanted to bring that, some of my Scottish heritage in it as well. And yeah, the horse hooves, let me tell you, I was in the bottom that week. I was on that runway for 2.5 hours in those.
In the horse hooves?
Yeah, so the calves, we were alternating. It's kind of like dressage. We were given the dressage on the stage.
No kidding. I can imagine. What did you think you've learned about yourself during this experience?
Self-confidence, 100%, because you're locked away. You have no outside contact. You can't talk to anyone there unless the cameras are filming. So you literally have to be so sure with yourself of who you are as a performer when you go there, because not only are you in a competition, but you have to be able to deal with the isolation period as well, and the stress.
Where do you go from here? What's next for you, Hazel?
What's next? Well, I'm so excited because I feel like this is the new beginning of me.
Jumping off point.
You know, so I'm ready to literally tackle all new challenges. I really want to keep elevating my drag, especially my social media as well. That's the one thing that I really, really take pride in, is producing amazing content. So yeah, I'm really, really looking forward to that.
Well, congratulations on your run on Canada's Drag Race.
Thank you, and thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming in, Hazel, and you can watch Canada's Drag Race on Crave. Look forward to checking that out. Well, the first 2 episodes of Taylor Swift's docu-series have just dropped.
We have done something that no one has ever done. Welcome to the
A first look at some of the emotional moments, including Taylor's reaction to a major security threat in Vienna. Also,
the potential for this to have a very different outcome was very real.
How a skydiver's parachute deployed early, leaving him dangling from a plane wing. The dramatic video of what happened next, just ahead.
It's time to welcome in this week's Your Morning Vancouver weather star. Meet 8-year-old Trevin Pereira. So happy to have you do my job today.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for doing that. Okay, tell us a little bit about what sports you like to play, because I hear you like to play a lot.
Yeah, I like to play hockey, soccer, basketball, and baseball.
Wow, and hockey's top of the list. What's your position?
Center.
Amazing. You go to a bilingual school. What do you like to do on a rainy day?
I like to go swimming in an indoor pool.
Indoor pool, love it. Well, you're going to tell us about right now what it's like outside, so over to you.
Happy Friday, Vancouver. Periods of rain or drizzle falling this morning around parts of Lower Mainland. It's 7 degrees outside and the winds are calm.
He said it all right. We are into a soggy weekend. Thanks again so much for coming in to be our weather star today, Trevin. We look forward to hearing you give the forecast with our friends Nat and Drew on Move 103.5 later this morning. Your child could become the next Your Morning Vancouver weather star and deliver the weather forecast on air. Enter online at ctvvancouver.ca or scan the QR code on your screen. Give your workplace a boost with a CTV Your Morning Vancouver One Coffee break. Enter now for a chance to win a variety of delicious K-Cup coffee pods and a brand new Keurig coffee machine courtesy of One Coffee. Each month, CTV community host Mona Mahmood will visit the winning workplace to deliver the exciting package. Enter online at ctvvancouver.ca or scan the QR code on your screen. Good luck. Good morning. It's Friday. Wow, what a weather week, and we do have more on deck. So lots to tell you about. Right now, temperatures very cold to the north. In fact, we have frigid cold air warnings in the yellow zone in place for the BC Peace, Fort Nelson northern sections. -15 for Prince George, and we have the Caribou under a snowfall yellow zone warning. We're going to be seeing about 10 centimeters of snowfall there. -1 for Cranbrook. We're sitting at 7 degrees, so very close to where we should be. If you're doing any traveling, it is snow turning to rain as our freezing levels are rising. We do have a yellow warning in place for Rogers Pass at 15 centimeters of heavy snow expected, and Highway 3 as of right now is closed. So here we go. Here's that next system on deck. We're going to see just not too bad, actually. On and off showers, really spotty today into tonight as well. And then it's Saturday night where it intensifies, and this is where we're watching this next potential atmospheric river moving in on us Sunday, late Saturday and through the early morning Sunday and Monday. So next week we do have more moisture on deck, and here's a look at your temperatures across the province today. So Kelowna at 6 degrees, Kamloops at 2, Bella Coola hitting 4 degrees, and it's very frigid with that wind chill up in the BC Peace as we have, like I said, those cold warnings. So wet weather on deck, but really it's Saturday night in through Sunday and Monday, potentially Tuesday, where it's going to be very wet. Over to you, Carrie.
Yeah, okay, thanks for that, Stephanie. Well, Taylor Swift is celebrating the end of an era today as the first 2 episodes of her new docu-series have just dropped on Disney+, and the final Era Tour concert film is also now out, one that was fully filmed at her final 3 shows at BC Place. ABC's Sam Champion has the details.
We have done something that no one has ever done. Welcome to the Eras Tour.
Overnight, the world getting the first 2 episodes of the highly anticipated docu-series, The End of an Era, both a love letter to her fans.
Wow. Oh. Not me being emotional again.
And a behind-the-scenes look at the biggest tour in history. The showgirl entertaining more than 10 million fans across 5 continents.
We dodged like a massacre situation. And so I've just been kind of all over the place.
Episode 1 showing a raw Taylor Swift in the wake of the thwarted Vienna terrorist attack at her shows.
I'm gonna, meet some of these families tonight and
and emotional after meeting the families of the victims of the Southport stabbing as she prepares to get back on stage in London. The series drawing back the curtain on her nearly 2-year run, constantly evolving for the fans, adding a whole new era to the concert with the release of the Tortured Poets Department.
In the middle of me releasing the album, we had to be all hands on deck, creating a brand new era to put into the show to represent that album.
This is so fun.
Swift joined by famous faces along the way, including Ed Sheeran and Florence Welch, who literally popped up for a surprise performance.
It's Taylor Swift.
I think for Swifties who haven't had anything from her since her album was released, which is, I don't know, like a month, 2 months ago or something. I don't know the date. So they're desperate for something else. So finally now they get the docu-series and a concert film.
Their team just keeps everything so that there's never a time where there's not something, Taylor, to look forward to that's coming out that's huge.
On Disney Plus, people will be watching that.
Add it to our Christmas
Are you going to watch
list.
it?
I will. Yeah, I will. When I have time.
I'm going to cancel my Disney Plus subscription and see what happens in my household. Can you imagine?
Your kids will
be
not be.
uproar.
I have done that before, and my kids go crazy.
It'll be an uproar.
Well, don't like it.
I'm just kidding. You won't do that.
You have girls too, so I'm sure they're going to want to see it.
One of them will want to see it. Okay, 8:29. Here is the view looking down Burrard Street. This is Burrard Street. There's a lot of hustle and bustle out there, and no umbrellas right now, unless people just have their hoods up. Here now is a look at your top stories. Abbotsford, where a major flooding event is not over yet. We are seeing a big impact as water pools on some major roads. Flooding from an atmospheric river has closed schools for the day, while multiple evacuation orders and alerts are still in effect, and several roads are closed. Reagan Hasegawa has been following this all morning. She joins us now near Highway 1 in a very flooded area. So, Reagan, you have been watching things develop through the morning. Has that water receded at all?
Good morning, Carrie. The situation is still quite bad out here in Abbotsford this morning. Highway 1 is shut down between Sumas and Number 3 Road, and I'm going to show you exactly why this morning. Believe it or not, this is Highway 1. It's shut down, but you can see there's basically a little river going across the roadway. There's just so much water that's overflowing. That, of course, is the floodwaters for the Nooksack River in Washington State that have made their way over into Canada, causing major flooding, major disruption, and this is a perfect painting the picture why they have to keep people off the roads right now. There is just that much water making its way across the border. In terms of evacuation orders right now, there is 82 for Huntington Village, 371 Sumas Prairie West, and then over 1,000 properties remain on evacuation alert across Sumas Prairie East and West. And this morning, police are really urging people to not go around road barricades, obey all signs, and try not to divert resources away from emergency situations.
Last night, again, was an example. We had to shut the highway down in a very quick period of time, moving thousands of people off the highway over a few-hour period. What I'll say is everyone was calm, cool and collective is how I'll describe that. They were patient. They followed direction. We were able to clear that very quickly in a few hours and keep everyone safe. So when we have people that go around those barriers, that submerge their vehicles and require rescue, it's taking critical emergency service response and pulling them in directions where they don't need to be pulled.
So a very dynamic and fluid situation here in the city of Abbotsford as the floodwaters continue to make their way into the Sumas Prairie. We are expecting to get an update from officials in just a few hours this morning. But for now, if you don't need to be driving in the Fraser Valley, please stay home. Carrie.
Looks pretty bad. Okay, Reagan Hasegawa joining us live. Thanks, Reagan. Well, meanwhile, 5 people and 4 dogs had to be rescued after getting trapped on an island in the flooded Chilliwack River. The group was camping on the island overnight Wednesday when disaster struck. Chilliwack Search and Rescue says it responded with 20 members, including a raft team and swiftwater specialists. For hours, the team tried to reach the island only to determine there was no safe way. The stranded individuals thought they could stick it out until morning. That quickly changed.
Condition did deteriorate a little bit over the course of the next few hours, which resulted in us calling North Shore Rescue and Talon helicopters.
North Shore Rescue was able to hoist all 5 people and their dogs off the island. Everyone got out safe. No one was hurt. An Australian skydiver is lucky to be alive after a jump left them dangling from a plane. This is video you have to see. The skydiver was hanging out the plane's door when the handle to his reserve chute got snagged. The chute then opened and wrapped around the plane's tail. That means that the thrill seeker was left dangling 4,500 meters in the air. He managed to cut himself loose and landed using his main chute. Australia's Transportation Safety Bureau is investigating. It found that the plane wasn't loaded with the right weight and balance calculations were off. Overseas, the Australian government is being sued by Reddit over its newly implemented and controversial social media ban for youth.
Let's be clear, that shouldn't come as no surprise. Across our history, when our governments have taken strong action to protect citizens against highly addictive, highly damaging products, they've usually been challenged in the courts by the companies that profit most from them. But the idea that this is some action by Reddit to protect the political freedoms of young people is a complete crock.
Reddit argues it should be exempt from the ban because Reddit is not an age-restricted app. On Wednesday, Australia became the first country to ban underage users from a host of popular social media apps and websites. Tech companies that fail to comply face fines of up to $49.5 million Australian. Northeastern Japan was shaken by a 6.9 magnitude earthquake this morning, causing small tsunami waves, but no apparent damage. The quake happening just off the east coast of Japan's main island of Honshu. A tsunami advisory was in place. It has since been lifted. It comes after a 7.5 magnitude quake on Monday caused injuries and light damage on Japan's Pacific coast. Well, King Charles is set to speak during a digital TV broadcast today about his cancer diagnosis and recovery. The recorded message will be broadcast this evening on Britain's Channel 4. It is set to give Charles the chance to reflect on his experiences over the last 22 months since undergoing treatment for an undisclosed type of cancer. The monarch suspended public engagements for about 2 months after his diagnosis, but returned to the public eye in April of last year. Well, sometimes a vacation is more than just a vacation.
It just turned out to be this larger-than-life experience.
How a trip during childhood helped a man realize 2 lifelong dreams.
You discover things you never expected.
And sometimes you just need a little help. How some unlikely mammals have teamed up to hunt for dinner. That story's coming up.
Where do we begin? Perhaps I could start with Meg. She's gorgeous. Where is my...
It's a classic story brought to life on Vancouver's Granville Island stage. Louisa May Alcott's Little Women is currently thrilling audiences thanks to the Arts Club Theatre Company. Joining us this morning with details on the coming-of-age favorite is show director Barbara Tomasic. Good morning, Barbara.
Hi, Mona. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you, too.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming in.
My pleasure.
I understand it's a busy show run.
It is.
All
My
the way
job
to
is done,
January.
though.
Yeah.
The amazing actors have taken over, so
Good.
super happy to be here.
It's come to life on stage. So for those of us who haven't heard of the story, there's been lots of variations of it, but tell us about the story of Little Women.
Yeah, so it's a story based on the novel by Louisa May Alcott, and this play is also a little bit about the writer, but the story is about a family of 4 girls and their mom, essentially, and then there's a few extra male characters that drift in and out for romantic purposes.
And it's a Civil War era.
It's during the Civil War, 1868 it's set, and we've set it in that time. And it's the story of it's a coming-of-age story specifically about Jo March, so the second oldest daughter who wants to be a writer.
Okay.
And so it tells the story of her life as well as the writer of the novel.
Okay.
And her relationships with her sisters and family and Christmas and things like that.
So lots of plot lines.
There are a few, but one basic one, which is Jo wanting to be a writer.
Okay,
Yeah.
I like it. Now, why did the Arts Club choose this show for their holiday season?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think Ashley Corcoran, the artistic director, chose this show because it's set at Christmas. Parts of it are set at Christmas. And it really deals with themes of family and togetherness. But it also tells the story of women. And I think that's a really interesting thing right now. We were just talking about how women are often the people who make the decisions to see shows. And it's really lovely for them to see their own stories on stage and themes that really revolve around their lives and who they are.
And it's often women who create that Christmas magic at home, too.
That's correct.
Which I love.
Yeah.
So talk to us a little bit about the setting of the show. It's set at the Granville Island stage.
Yep.
How do you utilize that space and Granville Island in general?
Yeah, I mean, I love being on Granville Island at Christmas time. It's so amazing. Like, everything is lit up. It feels so holiday coded.
Nostalgic,
Yeah, it's so nostalgic, and there's lights everywhere, and you can get hot chocolate. The Granville Island stage is a beautiful stage. It's small. It's about 400 seats and intimate. You know, like you feel cozy and historic when you're in there. And so we've really brought the action quite... It's not in the house, there's no audience participation or anything, but you feel really close to the family, you know, and the way the set is built, it feels like a house, and it feels like you're invited into the March home.
Yeah.
So it's just a lovely way to come together and celebrate, and I find that, yeah, it feels really cozy in there, and you feel really close to the action and part of the March family.
Absolutely. And then obviously you can go around and shop local before and after.
Yeah.
Make a whole day of it.
It's amazing, and there's so many beautiful artisans down there. I know when we were rehearsing, I was like, don't spend too much money. I did do a little Christmas shopping.
Well, you're supporting local, which is
absolutely
great. And people can also support local by going to the Arts Club Theatre Company's production of Little Women. It's on now through January 4th at the Granville Island stage, and tickets are available online. All right. Good. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much.
Barbara.
Yeah, pleasure to be here.
Thank you. Well, this may sound like the plot of a children's movie, but it's actually real life.
When a killer whale started its dive, often there was a dolphin ahead of it. And so the killer whale was actually following the dolphin.
Now, researchers with UBC and Dalhousie University say they were shocked to see dolphins helping orcas as they hunted for food off northern Vancouver Island. They say they knew the pair hung out, but assumed the dolphins were there to play or even try to steal some fish from the killer whales. Another theory researchers have as to why these two have a mutual bond is that the resident killer whales are acting like bodyguards for the dolphins. That's pretty incredible. This is something like you'd see in an animated movie or something, like these two species.
The relationship.
Yeah. They become best friends. They team up.
Hey, there's an idea, right? There's a good idea, but that's pretty cool. I like that.
I think those salmon don't have a chance.
Not at all, not at all. It's Friday, everyone. Happy Friday. What a week we've had. CTV Weather is brought to you by Craftsman Collision, BC's leader in auto body repair. We have not a bad day at all. It's just a little misty out there right now. We could be seeing a few scattered showers throughout the day, so that's what we're tracking. Winds are calm right now. We do still have a special weather statement in place for the Fraser Valley, East, West, and Central, as we do have more rain in the forecast for your weekend ahead. So what we're expecting is the rain to really pick up Saturday night into your Sunday, continue in through early next week. So we're monitoring this. We are anticipating once this rain amps up tomorrow night, potentially up to about 40 millimeters around Hope, 10 to 20 for much of the Fraser Valley. Freezing rain Saturday morning for areas inland North Coast. Today's high 9 degrees. We're a little bit above average, and we're seeing sun sundown at 4:14, broke a record in 2002 at 14 degrees. So we are looking at our freezing levels rising. We're seeing snowfall, some of that changing to rain later today. So if it starts off as some flurries and some flakes, it will be likely turning to rain. We do still have a yellow warning in place for Rogers Pass. So that is expecting about 15 centimeters of snowfall. And there's that atmospheric river that we're anticipating to arrive on Sunday. So temperatures right now, a little bit of mixed precipitation around the Thompson there. Okanagan, we're looking at some showers, and Prince George, northern sections. The Caribou is under a snowfall warning, and northern sections around the BC Peace, frigid cold warning there in the yellow zone. So rain and drizzle a little bit, not too much. It's time to go check in now with Mona.
'Tis the season for frizz, flyaways, and last-minute gift panic. With our busier social calendars and damp lower mainland weather, it might be time for some TLC. Joining us this morning with some holiday hair tips and gift ideas is lifestyle expert Carly Ostroff. Good morning, Carly.
Good morning, Mona. Thanks for having me.
Thanks so much for being here. So, Carly, let's chat. What's on the top of your list this year for holiday hair care?
When it comes to holiday hair and glam, there's nothing quite like this new OGX Bond Protein Repair Collection. The hair hero for me really is this hydrating mist, which strengthens and repairs hair and protects it from heat damage up to 450 degrees. And it does it all without weighing it down. That's thanks to this super even, lightweight, continuous mist. I have to show it to you. It's pretty amazing. And of course, it works best with the rest of the Bond Protein Repair Collection, all of which is designed to repair and strengthen hair from the inside out using OGX's dual action technology. You can see we've really got everything that we need to cleanse, to condition, and style. The red bottles make it even more perfect for the holidays, so you can stock up at Shoppers Drug Mart.
I've been seeing OGX everywhere on TikTok thanks to a woman named Abby Young. I don't know if you've heard of her, but she collaborated with OGX to come up with like the perfect holiday hair care, but also year round. So I want to check them out now.
I love these products. Start here.
Okay. Now, what holiday sets are going to be selling out quickly, in your opinion?
Okay, at the top of everyone's wish list is always going to be something from Gucci. This is the Gucci Flora Gorgeous Gardenia set. And here you're getting two incredible fragrances. We have the Gucci Flora Gorgeous Gardenia Eau de Parfum, and then the Gucci Flora Gorgeous Gardenia Eau de Parfum Intense. So this is a really rich and feminine white floral scent that combines notes of the gardenia as the first blossom and also the flower in full bloom. It's really designed for women who are authentic and curious. I love here that you're getting two 30 ml bottles, so she could use these for day or night, or change them up, depending on her mood. But you don't even have to think about the packaging here because Gucci has done it so beautifully for you.
I love it. So you just throw it into a gift bag or just give it as is, and anyone who sees Gucci is going to be happy that they're getting it. Now, last but not least, what is new this season for the curly-haired girls?
Okay, so we've got to get them covered with something a little different. And this is a brand that's new at Sephora, so you can find it in-store and online. It's called Curlsmith. And so I started with the Moisture Memory Release. This gives hair up to 6 times more hydration, so you get these really soft, bouncy curls that last all day. Also, because you're getting that hydration, it does really help with frizz control. And another essential is this curl-defining styling souffle. So it's interesting because it's kind of a mix between a moisturizer and a styling gel. So tons of hydration here, a really cool texture. It's like a semi-solid jello. You apply it to the hair, scrunch it out. You get these nice defined curls. And this one's actually great for anyone with any type of curl. So a really easy thing to pick up from Sephora for the holidays.
Carly, lots of great tips there. Thank you so much for your time with us this morning.
Thank you.
All right, great. Thanks for that, Mona. Okay, it is 8:48. Sorry, pause here. My teleprompter catches up. Do you have a vacation you'll never remember? This guy does.
It just turned out to be this larger-than-life experience.
How a trip during childhood helped a man realize 2 lifelong dreams. The Sawatsky sign-off is coming up.
Well, we are celebrating the tail end of the year here at the Greater Vancouver Zoo for their first ever Zoo Lights display. Now, there are a lot of activities going on all around the Lower Mainland, but this is a must-see if you are thinking of ways to fill your family's time during the holidays. Of course, the school year is coming to an end for 2025, so we need to fill those kids' times. And here to tell us why the zoo needs to be on your stop is animal care expert Manita. Good morning.
Good morning.
So, Manita, lots going on at the zoo this time of year. Of course, this is the first time you're doing Zoo Lights.
Yes.
We're walking around your Zodiac Trail right now.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about this display.
So this has very huge significance for our Zoo Lights event. We have over 100 handcrafted Chinese lanterns that you can come and see at the Greater Vancouver Zoo. And it definitely is a unique experience because we don't often have guests through the zoo at night. So it's a very unique way of experiencing the zoo.
Absolutely. Now, 2025 was the year of the snake.
Yes.
So we're just getting ready to say goodbye to that. And as we do, let's talk about some of the real life animals here at the zoo that people can see. With the same ticket that they use to come to Zoo Lights, they can also come a bit earlier and see some of the animals during the day.
Yeah, exactly. So the zoo is open from 12 p.m. to 9 p.m. So from 12 to 4, you can come and still visit the animals around the zoo. And then at dusk, so around 5 o'clock, the lanterns start turning on.
Yes.
And you experience about 1 kilometer worth of path with lights scattered throughout.
So you're getting 2 events really for the price of 1 ticket. What are some of the animals that call the Greater Vancouver Zoo home?
We have a wide variety of animals, exotic as well as native species. So we have giraffes, we have lions and tigers and bears, rhino, red panda, which is everyone's favorite.
Yes, of course, not just this tiger.
Not just this
but a real
tiger.
life one.
No,
and you can actually hear their sounds and their roars.
Yeah.
It's an incredible learning experience and a great sensory experience here at the Greater Vancouver Zoo. So thank you so much for telling us all about it. You can grab your tickets for the Zoo Lights event over on the zoo's website, or of course just come in and talk to one of their staff. You can get a ticket starting at just $16, so it's a great affordable family fun activity for this time of year.
Thanks, Mona. It looks like fun. Well, a family trip captured with a disposable camera inspired one boy to dream big. Guided by his Olympian mom, he chased a life of athletics and art. Decades later, this Vancouver man is honoring her legacy, 1 throw and 1 photo at a time. Adam explains in the Sawatsky sign-off.
Before he started taking photos with his professional camera, Andy White was focusing a disposable one on the vacation that changed his life.
It just turned out to be this larger-than-life experience.
Then 10-year-old Andy attended the Olympics in Sydney because his mom had been on the national track and field team and found himself captivated by the javelin.
It was the coolest thing I'd ever seen.
When Andy returned to school with his pictures from the trip, his teacher said it was one of the coolest things he'd ever seen a student do.
It was like, oh my gosh, there's something here.
It led Andy to focus on art and athletics, both supported by his #1 fan.
My mom always wanted me to follow my dreams. That was her wish for me her whole life.
But when her life was cut short by cancer, Andy's dreams felt diminished until he bought this used camera on a road trip to the desert with his dad.
And we're learning how to be father and son with just the 2 of us.
And discovering that he could take pictures like this, the sort of images that won Andy his first National Photography Award. But striving to qualify for the national sports team proved to be more challenging.
I had a qualifying period to throw a certain distance. I hadn't done it yet. I had 1 weekend left.
So Andy attempted to drive between 2 provinces in 1 day to attend his last chance match when this happened.
I got attacked by a crazy man smashing a log. The police came, took care of him. I was completely rattled, but I had a track meet to throw at.
So Andy soldiered on and ended up winning his first 2 national competitions after earning his first spot on the same team his mom was once on.
This is my mom's Team Canada jersey, and I got to put it with mine, which I thought was really special, that I got to honor her in following my dreams, because that's what she wanted for me.
That her boy grew up to never give up on realizing his dream of being both an accomplished athlete and professional photographer.
It was such an important lesson. It's not over till it's over, and keep going. So much so I have that tattooed on my arm.
Adam Sawatsky, CTV News, Vancouver.
Wow, he never gave up. Look how far he went.
Keep going tattooed on my feet.
Keep going.
Keep going.
That's incredible.
Yep.
Well, we are continuing to track the flooding situation in the Fraser Valley this morning. We do have a live shot to show you. So what you're looking at is Highway 1 in Abbotsford at the Watcombe exit. We're facing west. This is near Castle Fun Park. Police had to evacuate the highway last night as water rushed in. Castle Fun Park, of course, as you know, is really impacted by the floods in 2021. We don't know what kind of damage they're facing now. This is the highway near that area, and yeah, it's just, you can't even see the highway here. Just incredible conditions out there, and best of luck to everyone who's dealing with that. Have a good weekend, everyone. We'll see you Monday.